Going on, bro?
Peace, peace. What's happening, bro? Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah, the shit ain't live. It's live now.
Oh,
Coming.
okay. Cool. Let's get it
Yeah.
cracking. What's happening with you? Peace to the panel.
Yeah, they do that old school shit on them, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, back in the day thing, man.
Yes, sir.
People coming in, the title of the show is Race Science and the Age of Genetics, How We Understand Ancient Egyptian Population. Brother Ankh, Engozi,
Yes, sir.
Gullah Geechee.
Gullah Geechee in here. Okay. That's love.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
All right. I want to give him some love, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, I appreciate y'all brothers, man. And sometimes, the people to be the most loyal, they get left out sometimes. And I don't never want to do that. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So
That's love. That's 100.
yeah, so Gullah, he want to start a channel, yo. So we gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Support him.
We gotta support him. Then you gotta have a place so y'all niggas can E1B one of them.
For sure.
That's your favorite conversation, yo. So I don't never wanna
I just got to get the time, man. But I'm always here to support the people as much as I can. But that's 100, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate what Gullah Geechee got to offer and what you're doing, and even promoting his platform when he developed it. So that's powerful, brother.
Yeah, you go everywhere, yo. You travel well. You're a road warrior. You know what I'm saying? You're a road warrior, and I always gotta have a space where you can just jump in. You know what I'm saying? Jump out. You've been doing that for 9 years, bro. So that ain't nothing new. That's what you do. You're migratory. You gonna make sure all the people get you don't have no picture. You teach everybody science. I might use to bust somebody in the head with it, but you always was the guy who wanted to make sure everybody got that.
That's all, bro. This stuff don't belong to me. It belong to every. I mean, nothing that's put out there is new. All these arguments, it's not new. So the information belongs to everyone. It just don't belong to me. It belongs to the community. It belongs to everyone. So, and when you think from a scientific way, or if you are scientifically literate, you understand that you don't know nothing until you can test and prove your own theories of beliefs, and then you put out the data. So, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Observe and report.
That's a fact, yo. And I just say, man, just the conversation is so high level, man. We got to slow it down a little bit sometimes, and not to a creeping pace, but we teaching, and so people got to get the books, get the information. They got to go home and do their homework.
Yes, sir.
Right, and so they can do because if I can get it, anybody can get it, yo. And that's just what it is, man. So yeah, let me shout out the chat, man. We're gonna get in here and get up out of here tonight, man. Everybody do they build, man. So let me see you in the chat. I see you, Black Line Supreme, man. What's good? Omar Reed, what it do? Mongo Slade, what's up with you, man? Who you got? Aaron, what's up with you? Keenan Wright, what it do? All right. So yeah, man, we let the crowd build a little bit, man. And you know how we do, man. We get that thing popping, man. So yeah, we got these sources for the night. Let's see. We rocking in there, man. Triskoff, we're gonna be using her. Triskoff. Sarah Triskoff, we're gonna deal with that. She's from Penn State. Penn State University. Oh man, how'd I lose that? Oh man. God damn, that ain't the one I want to use though. How'd that fall off? Boy, I tell you, let me see. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, and I know you got some pictures and I got some pictures, man. And we want to talk about a little diversity in Africa. Let's see. You ever heard of UniPro? Familiar with that?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You familiar with that? UNIPROT?
Unipro, yes, sir.
Aha, okay. All right. So yeah, we're gonna do a look. We're gonna show them how we show off around here, man. So, you know, a lot of times Gozi and Geechee be speeding through that shit, man. But you know, I had to get some tools to slow their ass down where I could understand it, man. So when they be kicking off certain genes, certain variations of genes, certain, you know, which is an allele, I had to go to websites that could help me actually, you know, slow it down. I could read it and get it right here. And it's going to take that, you know, because science is counterintuitive. And I say that and I mean that. You ain't born with science. Yeah, you definitely, your senses ain't born with science. Okay. Your senses are used for certain things, for survivability to help you reach the age of reproduction. It's exactly what they're for. And all these things come through the evolutionary process. Your eyes for seeing. You ain't gonna see a million miles. Nope. Your hearing. You ain't hearing well underwater. That's why whales have bad hearing. You know, mammals, they had this little bone in their ear, strictly for hearing outside of the water. That's why whales use sonar, but they harbor ears. And we know that whales was on land because of that little bone. All this is evolutionary theory and understanding that. The touch, you feel, all that, okay? Limited, it limits you. It tricks you, your senses can trick you. And so science is the great equalizer, all right? And so we come to you with this package. And so, you know, the real conversation that we be having when we offline is that, man, if y'all can't get through the Egyptian population, y'all can't move forward. And we see people taking 10 steps back, and we get it. Science is counterintuitive. Like you're not gonna just dive out there and get it, man. It takes study. So we got 28 people in the building, man. That ain't enough to get rocking, man. Hit that like button, man. All right. So let me real quick, man. Want people to be heard, man. Yeah, we doing this tonight for sure, man. We want to you know, get Gullah channel going. I see you, Black Sheep. I see you, Black Sheep, 013. All right, from West Africa. I see you. All right. Pile up, man. We're gonna have that real black atheist. I see you, D. What's good? Mm-hmm. OG's fish room. Yo, yo, yo. Well, I see you. Athena, what's up with you, Athena Cross? Sugar Haze. Sugar Haze. So yeah, man, we're gonna have them sources in there for you, man. And you know, we're gonna dive in and do this only like we can do this, man. You know, real black atheism is on fire. We got that Hebrew conversation. You know, we've been took care of that many moons ago. And it's back around again. I see you, Jody Breeze. I see you, Amin. Was good. Everybody with the colorful names, that's what we do, yo. We colorize our names. It's just something we do. It's part of the culture, man. Pick and choose your name. People give you names. It's part of the culture. All right. Got 33,000 in the building, man. Hit the like button, man. Catch up. Catch up. Pan-African Designs. Oh, yeah. We already know that. All humans are 99.99. You say 99.9. No, 99.99. Yeah. Hey, Ghost, where you at?
I'm right here, brother. Peace and love.
Got a question for the chat before we even start. Pan-African Design said, are humans 99.9 the same?
Absolutely. It's only one race. I mean, what we tend to classify as race as social constructs based off alleles or pairs of gene expressions of mutations. We're all ultimately mutants. So we have to respect allele or gene expressions. But ultimately, it's only one race. We're not a subspecies of one another. We haven't spent enough time to be separate from one another to be classified as a subspecies. We're only one species of the surviving human family, and that's Homo sapiens sapien. So when we look at mutations like MFSD12 or major facilitator superfamily domain containing 12, which is responsible for mediating and importing certain elements or chemicals and melanosomes that makes us dark. That's a whole nother story. The same time, when you look at the mutation on chromosome 15 that causes people to be fair skinned from alanine to threonine, SLC2485, sodium potassium calcium exchange of 55 mutation, those are not enough, or those small things that's responsible for what we see, whether it comes in the form of pheomelanin or uromelanin, is not enough to separate us as a species. Matter of fact, even African Americans at a lower population, at a lower percentage, have the mutation of SLC2485. You guys can look it up. And hopefully when Brother Ankh reads from Tishkoff, it'll be talking about how some people in Africa still have the mutation and how other genes is active. So it kind of camouflage the SLC2485, which give a lot of the people that you find on the horn a specific reddish brown hue because other genes is active, distracting the SLC2485 mutation from fully expressing itself. And then we can be able to explain how those genes express itself fully in other zones where people lack certain genes is active, where it can't be camouflaged or blurred out from other populations. But ultimately, skin color, morphology, or anything should not separate us from being a species of Homo sapiens sapien, which is humans. We are an amazing species. We survived against the other groups of other organisms that's been attacking us, and even other groups of humans that didn't even make it. It took a long way to get where we are. So colorism was not created by us, and I'm not trying to make the answer so long, but yeah, we 99.9% the same. And with the changes that you find at that 0.1% is very small. You're looking at expressions at the demi level, clinal level, which is not enough to separate us as a species. But we got to respect the selective pressures that molded what we see on the surface. That's just a fact.
Yeah. Okay. Killed him. All right. A lot of things he talked about. We're gonna have sources for that. As simple as that. We got them. How they said, put us in the game, coach. Yeah, man, we here, man, support Gullah. The book of Al-Jahid, man. Al-Jahid is one of my favorite Muslims, African Muslim. All right, kind of talked about evolution before Charles Darwin. He espoused it. He actually wrote a 7-volume set, encyclopedias. All right, so this is Al-Jahid. This is what Africans been doing. And we had a powerful conversation about West Africa and the slave trade. And I think some of the bros, they just, not the slave trade, but just Islam in West Africa. And they kind of underestimated the African. A lot of times people wanted to focus on the slavery part and the Islam part, but in reality, those were Africans practicing science. It was Islam, and that's the religion, but the science and the technology is what the African really accepted. And Islam was just a way of to get into that. We talk about the House of Wisdom and how the House of Wisdom in Baghdad was the capital of the Arab Empire. Okay, so this demonstration going to Europe actually revived Europe and put it and ushered it, pushed it forward into the Age of Enlightenment. But the Age of Enlightenment came out of what the Jews and specifically the Muslims did. Okay, and you got Africans that practice Judaism, and Africans that practice Islam, and Africans that practice Christianity. And so that's a statement that you can make without getting $40 million taken away from you. I just wanted to get that to you real quick. Let's see where we at, man, before we get to really kicking this thing.
Yeah, what's good? What's good with Uncle? I'm in the building now. What's up with it?
Hey, man, I just want to say shout out to you, man. We're here in support of the Book of Al-Jahid, your new channel, man. We want to have a space where y'all can get over there and E1B1 in the depth. This is your favorite conversation, man. So I want to make sure I do for you, what I've done for others, man. So we're gonna build that channel and get it up and have it rocking over there, man. Like we know we can, bro. You earned that right, man. And I never want to not look out for people that's been loyal from day one. You've been a day one. ups and downs, right? And I gotta shout you out. And it's been time, but you know it come when it come, yo. So
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, we here, and I'm gonna make sure I got you. And I just appreciate y'all, man. So yeah, you know what it is, man. You got something you got a little article, something, but there ain't enough people in this building here for us to rock for real,
Yeah, yeah,
bro.
yeah. I ain't gonna bust my guns out yet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just gonna say, like when Gozy was saying, like it's just the point percentages that make us different. I heard the other episode you was talking to Pan African James. He didn't really understand
Mhm.
the point percentages, the smaller, the minute, you know what I'm saying, little changes in the DNA is you know what I'm saying, when we look at it, it's a huge change, but in DNA genetics, you know what I'm saying, those millions and millions of chromosomes, you know what I'm saying, it's a very small, you know what I'm saying, change. Should we 50% have shared the same DNA as a damn banana. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. And you know what, Gullah? What separates us from not looking like a banana is in nature. You have something called developmental regulatory genes. So even though we share 50% of our DNA with a banana at the core, developmental regulatory genes are able to separate that. The same thing when you look at, about the Pantheos family, when you look at the taxonomy between lions and tigers, they're not the same species within that family. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So
And then when people mix and match, like you can like when you looking at the DNA, like for us the ancestry, the autosome and the Y chromosome, that's a whole different graph. That's a whole different measurement. You know what I'm saying of the DNA. That's just different levels of DNA on a certain different molecular or you know what I'm saying cellular level. You know what I'm saying?
right, right, because like for paternal markers or haplogroups, which only makes up less than 1% of your DNA, those are just sex chromosomes that go unchanged. Because we know that sex chromosomes is your deep ancestral paternal and maternal lineage, but they don't recombine. So when you start dealing with sex chromosomes, that's not enough to make you different. A haplogroup does not make you different. Those are just sex chromosomes. And yes, they went through their mutations. We have to understand the difference between short tandem repeats and how SNPs work, single nucleotide polymorphisms. And once we understand that fully, you start to get into that, and then even that becomes small play. So we shouldn't base our reality off haplogroups. But haplogroup does tell you deep ancestral lineage, migratory routes, or was something developed at from human populations, but it's not enough to separate us as a species. It should never be used to separate us as a species.
Mm-mm. Hmm. So people will always mistakenly say what we didn't say and misunderstand what we did say, brothers. I've been saying this for a minute, man. And 54, man, 55, we're gonna get this started, man. Let me go ahead and crank this, man. Start them off, get it going. All right, so we can get into our source material. Y'all gotta know what it is, man. Let's go ahead and get this cracking. Little theme music. Let me really get into the show, man. Hey, Black African Power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Ooh, wait, man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God Killer in the house, man. And look, man, we got a powerful show today. And look, man, let's just get it cracking, man. I'm a rock squad up, Magi Archers with the big shit. If you ain't Sinetta, no time for that interview, dog. I put my shit out for niggas, I don't send it to dog. Plan killer off the Buddha, not being discreet. One buck is big pops and projectiles. Sun runs, whole game, bring your cleats. The best blow, Eskimo, penguin feet. Don't need no blunt to burn. You run the turn for 10 niggas on the block. That's a punt return. Hey yo, Dolomite, hold up tight, soldier with the solar light. Saber and hold it like
golden mics, golden ice benders. Sipping on that overpriced poltergeist spirits. Ripping at the open mic, spoken nice lyrics like Mama moved mean overnight, golden motorbike holding on some prime shit. That nice neon kid is on it. The king's libation with exotic liqueur. The queen's vibration like a Sada Shakur. A lot of decor, 44 threads, they ain't got it in store. Ruby and Kush, black top pottery doors, 39% THC, the quality pure. Old rappers try to spit ain't hot as before. It's like a five, like the bull, bust the shots of the floor. Cats switch up their style when they ain't got it no more. Cause they gotta keep their product in store. The BKT see what that weed did? Yes, man, agreeing on everything we said. I swallow the mic like it's the love of my life. Don't get sliced in beef with the butt of the knife. Brother polite to say I'm animalistic, cause I still be in the hood with my hand on my pistol. The Hebrews think I'm cannibalistic, eat by divination, channel the mystic, audio visionary. Let's play poetical dictionary. Picture me burning down your missionary. Yeah, then I send you religion. That red dot on your head, that's Hindu tradition. Invisible, independent, in transition. I'll bring it all to an end with indivisible games. Charles Xavier, get in your brain. Mental anguish, a manifesting physical pain. Wizard remains to dance in the chemical rain. Breathe slow, then I'm about it is physical plane. Got military machinery that exercise weaponized greenery. Shine at it, jeopardize the scenery, son. Rush, the beam 10 times your distance. Inclines prevention. Stop rising with no trend line resistance. The parabolic breakout. I'm F-16 with the aeronautics fake out.
Hey, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Black African Power family, man. We're in here with a real smooth one. You know we got to get back to teaching, man. It's just that simple, man. Let me introduce some loyal brothers right here, man. Gullah Geechee, man. What's going on with you, man? Man, what's good, Gullah? The Book of Al Jahiz, man. What's good?
What's good with it, man? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want to do my own platform to slow it down for people that really don't, you're really trying to understand the science and the genetics and the human migrations. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I think the people deserve that. So me and Engozi and a few other brothers, you know what I'm saying? We starting a whole new movement. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of Team Osiris. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna call it. We don't call ourselves even Team Osiris no more. We the old gang. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, build the Book of Al Jahiz just based on science. You know what I'm saying? Because Al Jahiz too, you know what I'm saying, is the actual father of evolution too. You know, he came out with the, you know, he came out with the you know what I'm saying, with that you know what I'm saying, hypothesis even before Darwin did. In the golden age of Islam, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Golden age of Islam. Yeah, he dealt with the lice on the hair, right? And as examples, man, y'all can just look that up, man. And he wrote that 7-volume set, man. Yeah,
and he was a brother,
right.
and he was, you know what I'm saying, he was an Arab, but he was an Arab of Bantu descent. He was a Zinj, you know what I'm saying? His grandfather was a Bantu Zinj, you know what I'm saying, that was imported from, you know, Southeast Africa.
Facts. Hey, man, what's going on with you, Gozi? What it do, man? Man, we're glad to have you on there, man. Appreciate you, bro. Let's get it in. What's good?
All is well. I really appreciate the show, man. I mean, we here, man. I mean, the whole goal always was just to, you know, influence and have the people get involved with science. I mean, the direction that we were aiming at. So the whole goal is, you know, not to teach you what to think, but teach you how to think for yourself. A lot of people have peeled off and became ops, as we say in the city. You know what I'm saying? But yet still, everybody finds a way. Everybody finds a way, you know, to think. And I really appreciate even those who oppose of us for thinking, because it goes to show that we're activating, or that spark is happening, you know. And it's not about who's better and who's worse. We all are teachers, you know. And I love to see my brothers and sisters just thinking for themselves. That's the direction that we're going in. So there's no big eyes and little U's. So I think that's where it's at. There's no need to feel you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. You can have your own views. You can do whatever. It's not enough to make me, you know, despise anyone. I think it's a beautiful thing that everyone is thinking. That's the whole goal, is to think. And depth to occultism. Depth to occultism.
Yeah, on the screen, man. Go ahead and put this, man, in y'all Real Black Atheist folder, man. We're gonna start off with something from the Journal of Science, man. So this the link right here. Go ahead and throw it in y'all folder, man. And we're getting right in off the grip, man. It's called Taking Race Out of Human Genetics. And so we done had a conversation for 2 years straight. And no matter how much we say, yo, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do that, people still do it. You hear people saying that, oh, race is scientific, it's studying science. Knock it off, right? And they fighting to get that out of there, okay? So we'll just do this right here, and that'll take us to our next demonstration. Yo, we elevating the conversation around here, man. We're gonna open the panel in a minute, but the bros, we're gonna do our thing. So watch this. In the wake of the sequencing of the human genome in the early 2000s, genome pioneers and social scientists alike called for an end to the use of race, right, as a viable in genetic research. It says viability in genetic research. It says, unfortunately, by some measures, the use of race as a biological category has increased. I know it did over the last 2 years. I've seen them doing it, has increased in the post-genomic age. It say, although inconsistent definitions and use has been a chief problem, that's why we all over the place, with the race concept, it has historically been used as a taxonomic categorization based on common hereditary traits, such as skin color, to elucidate the relationship between our ancestors and our genes. Man, it says, we believe the use of biological concepts of race in human genetic research so disputed and so mirrored in confusion. Say this again. So disputed and so mired in confusion is problematic at best and harmful at worst. It is time for biologists to find a better way. Okay, and I'm gonna finish it right here. This is something I know y'all don't know about. Racial research has a long and controversial history. At the turn of the 20th century, socialist and civil rights leader W.E. Du Bois was the first to synthesize natural and social scientific research to conclude that the concept of race was not a scientific category. Contrary to the then dominant view, Du Bois maintained that health disparities between Blacks and whites stem from social, not biological inequality. I'm gonna stop right there, man. That's a who knew. We're gonna always try to give you something new, right? Because we teaching. And you know what I'm saying? When the teachers teach, man, we all listen. Yeah, big up to W.E. Du Bois. So we know what we're talking about when we had these conversations. And so at the forefront of pushing these types of agendas, you find an African, W.E. Du Bois. So we good with that. Anybody want to say something about that? I think this is a good measure to start at. Anybody?
Absolutely. Not at all. I know that we're going to flow through.
How about you, Gullah? Want to add something to that? I see Thurman in the building. Oh man, CM, salute. What's going on with you? Hey man, shout out to the Serial Killers, man. We got Cedric in the building, man. We got my main man, Brendan Sims. What's good with you, man? What's good?
It's bullshit. It goes for black people trying to play that game and white people even trying to play that game. It doesn't make sense. Well, yes, from a social constructive angle, yes, we will be classified in black in North America. No one's telling you that you can't do that, but we are a species, one species, and
All right, you know, goes be in and out. He be working. So let's move it forward.
Yeah, I'm back. I had to step out for a minute. I'm back though.
I wanted to show Jabella Hood, and I wanted to show a population of people, or certain groups of people that still resemble these Homo sapiens. Because I want people to know, mutations, even with that we have from tropical zones of what they classify as sub-Saharan Africa, is also unique, and it could be later downstreams. So I wanted to talk about Jabella Hood and his molar and what he looked like, and populations that still resemble him. Looking at the nasal and looking at the mandibular, looking at the shape of his skull, and even just studying the hyena cave from 257,000 years ago, the poop that was found in the hyena cave, and they found the hair, and they looked at the hair measurement of what early Homo sapien hair texture was. I just want to show the world what these early humans look like in populations that still resemble them, even though we know, they tweaked out and regained certain traits from archaic populations outside of the continent and was isolate for a very long time. They were still able to maintain a consistent phenotype.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't hear me read that article, did you, Gullah?
Yeah. I heard the first. I heard the first half of.
You want to add anything to that? Before we go to these?
Hold on. I was gonna let Engozi go first about the Jabella Hood. I got an article. I got some sources I'm gonna show. I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah, you did that for. I said, did you want to add anything up? Add anything to it? Anything to what I read?
I probably got to hear the rest of it because
Don't worry about it. No, you good. No, you good. I know how y'all do. I'm definitely prepared for y'all too.
Yeah,
you ain't got to worry about that.
Hey, I'm listening. I know. Hey, I got 6 kids, so I'm busy.
Don't worry about it, bro. This is how we get in. We come on, yo. We know how to work off each other, yo. It's a game. We know how to do this. It's easy. I got all the fillers. The fill-ins when you disappear. Go ahead. I like that guy right there.
But I'm here now. I'm all in now. I'm here now. I'm chilling.
Okay, the reason why I'm doing this now, because I know Unc said it'll be a short time, and we can go further later on with the articles and sources. But I want to talk about Jabella Hood, and I wanted people to see what's postulated of what these early Homo sapiens look like. This is archaic Homo sapien. But at the end of the day, this is what made way for us. And populations of people still resemble them. Now, this is Jabella Hood, who was found in Morocco. But as me and brother Gullah Geechee and Ankh talked about, the tools that was found that he had, you can find them in certain groups in Central Africa. He was not from Morocco. He died up there. They also found another skull, Floresbad skull in South Africa, Floresbad skull in South Africa that looked like them. And they also went further back in time for Omo Man 1. He actually wasn't 190,000 years old. He was 236,000 years old. And they went back. He didn't even look like the modern population that you find. But let me show you something right quick. So you guys seen Jabella Hood, right? Now let me show you populations of people that still resemble Jabella Hood. And I want the audience to see this. It's amazing.
Australia.
So when you look at this man right here, that's one. Or even this man right here. I mean, a person to say, oh, those are Africans, right? But they're not.
Yeah.
And this man right here, these people are Aborigines. These
Yeah,
people are people that live in
Aboriginal
our.
Australians. Yeah.
So the original Homo sapiens resemble a lot of the people that you find over there. Not to mention that these people left out of Africa. They first split from what they classify as Eurasian Atom, and the brother branch of Eurasian Atom, which is CTM168, is BM60, that both split from BT. And when you start following this, these people left out of Africa a very long time ago, not to mention they have one of the oldest systems or cultures outside of the Khoisan in the sense of doing things because they've been isolated for a very long time. But even the Khoisan developed certain later traits in the situ as they migrated because they also represent layers and phases to become the Khoisan. But we'll get into that much later.
I would say too, them and the Papua New Guinean people all throughout, Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The you know what I'm saying? The Australoid. I don't like to use the term Australoid, but you know what I'm saying? The tropical Southeast Asia. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And two, another reason why you know what I'm saying they maintain that feature too is because they have a lot of admixture with Denisovans.
Okay, so y'all talking about, I hear y'all talking about genes, how they express. I heard Gozi say we mutants. And he talking about we mutated, man. See, people take that and won't even understand. He said we was mutants. He's simply saying that we're direct results of copying mistakes, mutations. Exactly what we are from day one out the gate. Let me prove this real quick. Let me show you, right? People always get caught off into skin color. And, we had a whole movement around that, right? And so we're going to come right here. We're going to use Tishkoff. Tishkoff. We're going to use her. So, and we're coming to Penn State. She's actually works at Penn State, right? Let's see. So right here, Penn today. All right. It's a varying skin colors of Africa, light, dark, and all in between. A team of geneticists led by Tishkoff, okay? Penn State integrates knowledge professor has shown that there is huge amounts of variation of skin color within Africa, ranging from skin as light as some Asians, here you go, to the darkest skin color on a global level. So for anybody to try to characterize Africans by skin color, you're going to lose, right? Get used to it. Trying to get your minds out of that racism, white supremacy. So what is the racism, white supremacy? Where all Africans got peppercorn hair, right? Dark skin and big lips. Y'all can't get it out your mind. So let me roll through some of these pictures before I read anything. Here you go. Darker complected right there. Look at the sister. Beautiful sister. Okay? Look at the cultural, look at the way she do what she do. Diverse. Okay? A Marsi woman from Ethiopia. All right? Ethiopia. Look at that skin range. Look at that skin color. Okay? Moving forward. Another beautiful sister right here. Look at that range. Look at the hair. Look at the lips. Look at the nose. Nothing like you want to say, okay? Hammer woman from Ethiopia. So you got two people from Ethiopia. Look at the skin range. All right? Let's come here. We go. Oh, who is this Ankh? Here you go, from Ethiopia. And I'm Hungarian woman from Ethiopia. So you got three different skin ranges.
And that woman right there, she had that horror woman, even though she so she's in the Horn of Africa now. You know what I'm saying? She would have a lot of Eurasian admixture in her DNA. This you know what I'm saying? Despite how she looked.
Three different ranges right here. All right. Okay. Skin color is one of humans' most striking and stunning variable traits. with a new study of diverse African groups, a team of geneticists led by Tiskoff. All right, let me come right here. Penn State home, boom, 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 boom. Okay, David and biologist has broadened and deepened an understanding of genes that color skin color. All right, and here I want y'all to get this. All right, I'm gonna read all these professors' names, but and the study was done by these professors right here. Y'all go ahead and get that, put it in your Real Black Atheist folder. Okay, so it also goes to say the findings published in the science, in the Journal of Science, shed light on the human evolution and informed knowledge about genetic risk factors for conditions such as skin cancer. So a lot of times, really, when they study genes, man, they're trying to find the certain cures to diseases. This is, really, and the side effects is just actually talking about population, but they really want to, the main thing is to try to figure out risk factors for different diseases and stuff. They say when you think of skin color in Africa, most would think of darker skin, Tishkoff says, but we show that within Africa, there is a huge amount of variations ranging from skin as light as some Asians to darker skin on a global level and everything in between. So now your mind needs to shift for thinking that all Africans are dark skinned. Okay? You had to get out of that. So we talked about how while scientists have probed the genetic basis of skin color before, most of those studies were done on Europeans. Yeah, a lot of the genetic work is actually done on European populations, and little was done on African populations. And the question is why? It makes no sense. We have the most diverse gene pool. You're going to find more answers in Africa than you would outside, but y'all know how that go. So it says while scientists probed the genetic basis for skin color before, most of these studies were done on Europeans. To gain a fuller picture of the global genetic diversity, Tiskoff, along with postdoctoral researcher Nicholas Crawford, the study's lead author and large international team of collaborators, examined more than 4 million points in the genomes of nearly 1,600 study volunteers from ethnically and genetically diverse populations in Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Botswana. All right, now I want to move here and I'm gonna tag Gozi in right here. I want to come right here. Okay, it says that let's come here. Researchers found 4 key areas of the genome. We're talking about areas of the genome. Remember, Gullah and Engozi talked about these different areas and where different things express themselves. We're going to get into that right now. It said the researchers found 4 key areas of the genome where variants closely correlate with skin color differences. The area encompasses 8 genetic variants, which in total explains 29% of variations in skin color in the group study. Surprisingly large amounts for such a complex trait that almost certainly evolves in combinatory action of many genes. So different genes interacting with each other causes this. Now watch this. One gene, the group study was MFSD12, had been found to be differently expressed in light and dark skin of people with vertigo, a condition where the skin loses pigment in some areas, but was otherwise little understood. Okay, it says this team found variants of MFSD12 that were associated with both very dark skin and relatively light skin. This is important right here, right? Variations of certain genes. You probably even heard of this gene before, okay? So here's a tool I like to use. When Engozi was kicking that shit off quick and fast and is wow, right? I come to this tool right here. This will help you explain it. I want y'all to put this in y'all toolkit. When people is messing it up, we sit and we read this literature all day long. put this in your toolkit. UniPro, all right? And it's going to do stuff like this. So we're talking about the proteins, okay? It's going to talk about what protein 12, right? Remember, we're talking about that gene, remember, right here in humans, right? And what's the organism, the protein, the status of it? UniPro, KB, review, Swissport, right? Look, Homo sapiens. So the organism that we're talking about is Homo sapiens. We're talking about the proteins, what's the proteins right here? Protein 12, all right? The gene, what's the gene? MFSD12. This is how we do this. Then we come to the function. You know, Engozi and them spit that shit off. Transporter that mediates the input of silothene, you heard him say that, into melanosomes, thereby regulating skin pigmentation, okay? In melanosomes, silothene imports is required both for normal levels of serotonin, oxidized dimmers of serotonin, and provide serotonin for the production of what? I think this is, let's see. Let me see. I think this is serotonin, sirodipase. I think I said that right. I'm gonna put that in the thing to make sure I pronounce that right too. So, all right, but look, phenylamelanin synthesis. Remember he talked about phenylamelanin? Phenylamelanin synthesis, thereby regulating skin pigmentation. And they give you the different articles right here. Also crystallizing import of serotonin into lysosome in non-pigment cells. All right, so like if you come right here, it gives you the activity. Look like real quick. And you can actually read about it. All right. My fault to get it out of here. Oh, 1 second. Get back on the screen real quick. Get out of there. All right. So you can actually click the button right here. You can just read up on it. Give you everything you need to know about this particular gene right here. Right? It mediates the import of serotonin, melanosomes into melanosomes and lysosomes. All right? And just read about it. You take your time. Easy, look, spelled out real easy for you. See, we gonna make it easy for y'all, right? And then you go down to expression, you click that tab right there, right? Showing you how the gene expression database. You can go into that, okay? Structure of it. Can nobody trick you? So when they look through the microscope and they look at these different structures, you can see it. Similar proteins, all right? Family and domains. You get used to these terms. Phylogenetic database, family and domain database. All this is how you do this. This is high level right here. And you can just take your time and read through it. So when you're hearing them talk, okay, he's talking about how this particular gene expresses in this particular area and this particular population, and how, whoa, you thinking it's this and it's really that. You see a light-skinned person, you think that light-skinned person actually came from out here. No, it's actually an African version of it, and it's actually expressing itself right here. And what's the protein, such. And you just take your time, man. So these are the tools I use. Just take my time and read it. Look up the words you don't know. If it's something you're trying to find in there, you can't get it, it's cool, man. And this is not hard, man. But what you won't do after you do all that, you won't be running around here acting like you kicking some type of race signs to try to make somebody not. Now, we're definitely intelligent enough to recognize global cultures around the world and understand them cultures and how those cultures actually express themselves in nature. Say this real slow. So we surely recognize diverse cultures on planet Earth, and we understand the culture that we came out of.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
I want to say this real quick, goes. Like you might have like genetic clusters. You know what I'm saying? They might look similar all together as majority, but even with that, you know what I'm saying? You got diversity and different minute differences, and you know what I'm saying, based on the different ecosystems. Even with that, and those clusters can even overlap with other isolated clusters. You know what I'm saying? On a demi level. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
In Go, we talking about the demi level. We talking about the little small point percentages. You know what I'm saying? In the smaller phenotypical features that we see. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And those are very small. I mean, just because you see a thinner nose or whatever, that's still small. Even like I missed out when you were talking about how melanin work in pigmentation. And one of the when I talked about that major facilitator superfamily domain containing 12 or MFSD 12, that's a protein coding. So if you understand how that works, you will understand how it assists or give off some chemicals for melanosome to abstract, or what they classify as lysosomal.
So stop right there, Gozy. Stop right there, real quick. So you just mentioned the gene, right? I took them to the site and showed them everything about that gene you just spoke of. Say that gene again. MS. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. And also even OCA2 or SLC45A2, not 2485, and understand how that works, and how not with the HER2 gene, because with the HER2 gene combined, when you're dealing with occultaneous strand mutations, that's a form of albinism, right? But with the HER2 gene mutation is responsible for how populations develop blue eyes. So when you look up SLC45A2 and you look up how OCA2 worked at that phase, you can see it developing in a lot of early humans a very long time ago. So the light skin variant already derived way much more ahead of time than what people think. It's not SLC2485, it's SLC45A2. And when you start understanding that, you can start understanding why we look the way we look and why do we have strands of albinism. And a lot of these traits happen in Africa first. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these mutations.
Yeah, even archaic humans, you know what I'm saying? They were already variated, you know what I'm saying, in groups. Like, you know what I'm saying, like the Neanderthal, you know what I'm saying, would have been a little bit more darker in the Middle East than the ones that they found in Germany, you know what I'm saying?
Fact. Let me play Saline Ledopa. I remember the word I struggle with, right? So this is the tool I always use. Saline dopa. Did I say it right? No. Crystalline dopa. I don't know. Let's see. It's a tool I use to get these words.
Cysteine dopa.
Yeah, y'all can't even be mad at me for mispronouncing that. Cysteine ledopa. Wow. That's that word I mispronounce over there. Every now and then when I'm reading something, I mispronounce something, I'm gonna go ahead and play it with y'all. Y'all ain't gonna act like y'all could pronounce that.
Yeah, that's a type of word. That's a type of word that need an acronym. That's why DNA has an acronym. Motherfuckers can't pronounce that shit. The full fucking word. Yeah.
I just wanted to put that on there because you know how I think I mispronounced that, but I fixed it though, right? So we want to come here. So this is the gene that Engozi wasn't talking about. He running off the top of his head like that. So whenever Gullah and them do all that, I already know where they at. I know where to get it at, and I just want y'all to see it in real time. Now, Gullah just talked about popular ancient pop. He talked about prehistoric man. Well, I don't even want to say that. Archaic human, right? So let's come here real fast. Let me back them up with this source right here. Man, here you go. This backs them up right here. Let's see. SL Gozi just mentioned this. SLC24A right here. All right. That's that gene that's close to albinism, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's in the OCA family.
It's an OCA family, absolutely. The SLC2485 exists on chromosome 15. That's when alanine turns into threonine. The 111 amino acid changes position. So that's what, and a lot of that shit happened not just by climatic issues, but when a lot of Homo sapiens that especially exist in the Near East start depending on more grains, and substituted grains, and they went through certain nutrient deficiencies that lack in nature. If you don't use it, you lose it. So there's no need to have a lot of eumelanin and highly darkly pigmentation, right? They had to slightly like lighten up to synthesize vitamin D properly, because darker skinned people, it's harder for darker skinned people to synthesize vitamin D. So living in zones like that, and those people that were dealing with farming, a lot of the farming and dealing with more grains and barley as a diet substitute was responsible for the position of that changing. And that's what happened with a lot of people at that time. So it wasn't just based off, living in thinner ultraviolet rays. It's also dealing with certain, again, diet, the selective pressures of the environment. It's a whole lot of faculties for why this happened. And nature is a beautiful thing. We didn't start off as, our early ancestors, before we were Homo sapiens. And I want to kill a racist. The oldest form of pigment, you can look it up, is pink. And I'm just talking about pigment. You can look up the oldest standard pigment is pink. But here's the thing, even when we were going through our Australopithecus phase, a lot of those people were like bonobos. They were two-tone. They had beige and dark spots.
Darker skin, yeah. Even the robust chimp, if you notice the robust chimp, when they born, even the babies have like lighter skin, but as they age and spend more times in the canopies, and they lose hair on top of their head, you can see their faces get darker, get acne, those melanocytes get activated as they age.
So here, let me back you up, Gullah and Engozi, because both y'all spoke on this. And so it say some of the genetic variations the research identified coding. Goodness gracious, man, why did I touch that? God, it's crazy.
I'm gonna show you some too.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you show that after I get this. Goodness gracious, man, what is this, man? Too many tabs open. Let me just get this right here. 1 sec. And you're gonna get into what? Diox, what you gonna do?
No, not yet. I was gonna show you this. I was gonna show you this old source that we had that's still relevant to this conversation that we're talking about right now. You gonna remember what it is. You're gonna be like, oh shit. You like, damn, you still got that shit? Yeah.
So yeah, man, we've been having this damn conversation, man, for I swear 6, 7, 8. Like, come on, man. And to get the grand scope of things, man, it takes some time to really be able to put all that together, man. You ain't just diving out of nowhere with that. You ain't just jumping on the stream, howling, especially the complex. This is funny, yo. And y'all both gonna agree with me, yo. One of the most complex places on earth to study diversity would be in that area, the area of confluence. Because you got 3 different continents converging together forever. So migratory animals, humans are animals, right? Bulls, cat, anything that's going back and forth, they're going. And humans, we love to walk.
Yeah.
We love to walk. We love to move with the seasons. And like we say, me and heard Engozi say it the best though, right? Heard Gullah said the best, man. Those herbivores, right? Or those animals that eat grasses, right? Those herds that eat grasses, they eat number grasses, right? They follow the grasses.
Yeah.
Right. So certain climatic events that change the growing of grasses, them animals follow that. Now, you got animals that eat the animals that eat grasses.
That's right. The carnivore.
And I'm saying that's what we are. Like humans are the savanna apes. You know what I'm saying? Even like how Unc just mentioned grasses. Mostly every crop that the humans cultivated come from like even wheat, barley, rices, even all the way to corn. They all come from species of grass.
Yes, and if we study the organism that we are, right, or all organisms, right, we see that, like Brother Unc was saying, the carnivores follow the herbivores, and the omnivores follow both, which we are omnivores. We follow both. Even if we got to get the scraps of what the carnivore did to the herbivores, we can eat both. So we see what our species or what organisms do within the kingdom of animal. We see how, the carnivore follow the herbivores, and the Homo sapiens, who are omnivores, follow both. That's just what we do, which shows how far off we are not and how we shouldn't really even separate ourselves from the animal kingdom, because that's what we are ultimately.
Yeah, and that's deep, because you wonder why they moving. They moving because they eating. Hunter gatherers, they moving back and forth. What you want to do, just stand there and die? If y'all had y'all way, he would be standing like this and dying. It's not gonna happen, bro. It's not. Yeah, that's not going down. So go ahead, Gullah. You can show your thing. My thing is acting up, man. I can't even finish the thing. Anyway, I want to show you that these genes expressed before Homo sapiens sapien. That was my real point. Y'all talk crazy. This shit is going down before there's a Homo sapiens sapien. So when I say to be mixed, it's to be African. And watch everybody mess it up. Yo, is you saying mixed? That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying the very species that you are from day one was a mutant.
Yep. I think we should stop saying biracial and triracial and say bimutations or trimutations.
You ain't lying. That'll put some foot on it.
It goes.
Ooh, that's
that's that shit right there. Yes, sir.
You beat up Engozi with remember I told y'all to go get this magazine.
I slotted Engozi with that one. Yeah.
With the eye, with the development of the eye in there.
And Engozi went to like 5 Walmarts looking for them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but wait a minute. You know, I had the magazine. I still got subscriptions to the damn magazine. I ain't listening to you, Gullah.
That's a good ass article, bro. That's a good ass article.
I ain't even get, the next class we do, we're gonna do the one on National Geographic one, we're gonna start pulling up the people who you think is one way. Ain't gonna be none of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Alice Walker on that.
Oh, you going Alice Walker?
Hey, Ankh, could I show the people
yeah, go ahead.
Reconstructions of
the screen.
No, I was gonna show this too.
Go ahead.
I was gonna show the people that it's impossible. It's even impossible for a human being to be actually black. Actually, the color black.
Oh yeah, that's not the color. Yeah, that's not.
Can't be too dark. Humans are brown. It's always beige. And even here, Sarah Tishkoff, she even says, like, even when you see those Nilotic people or the people of Southern Sudan, they're not even black. They're super dark. They're the same colors like cocoa beans. If you look at cocoa beans, they look like they black, but they like actually super dark brown. You know what I'm saying? The same stuff that they make dark chocolate with. You know what I'm saying? When you look at those pictures, they just look like it's super black because you're looking at the, you know what I'm saying, the reflection of the camera and all that shit. But here, I want to say skin that is too dark blocks the sunlight necessary to catalyzing the production of vitamin D, which is crucial to maternal and fetal bones. Accordingly, humans have evolved to be light enough to make sufficient vitamin D, yet dark enough to protect their stores of folate.
And that's what I said earlier, Brother Gullah. Darker skinned people, it's harder for us to synthesize vitamin D compared to lighter skinned people, because your pigmentation helps protect you against, the certain levels of layers.
That's why we got to be outside for a long time.
We got to be outside long. Yeah. Yes. Hey, did Unc leave? I think he said his recording stopped. Oh, wow. I think he gone, Gullah.
What happened?
I think Unc got off here.
Why you just shake like that?
I think it cut off. It said recording stop. I think he only put it for an hour anyway. Shit, this was a good show.
It still say live too. I had a fight, bro.
Is it still on YouTube?
Fire, bro. I'm gonna show that.
You still see us on YouTube?
I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. It still say live on Zoom.
I don't know if it's on YouTube no more. I think Unc jumped off.
Oh, he said we live.
Oh, we live? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He probably just jumped off for a minute.
Hey, well, Gullah, let me show, a few of these pictures right quick before you go in, because I would love to talk about the people in the Natufians, and we know about how certain plots was used to give identity, give you a measurement of what they were and who they were. From modern populations, they said 6.8% Omadic, 20.7%, 27% North African, and 65% who went to school for what he was dealing with archaeology. He wrote to Max Planck Institute, David Reach, and he showed them the reconstructions of the Natufians and even our Iberomarusians. But I wanted to show something right quick of what the plot says when we talk about these Natufians or these people or certain groups that from G25, they use this from the samples that was put out there.
Yeah,
Let me show something quick. Go ahead.
and according to Eric, he even say that the Natufians, language would have probably been like a proto Semitic that would, they travel that travel from North Africa, and intermingle with the Western Eurasian and other population.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
before
yeah,
even
yeah.
before it migrated back, still as a proto-Semitic language, migrating back into Africa 80,000 years ago and migrating to the Fayum. And then when it migrated back from the Fayum back into the Middle East, it became full Semitic around 5500 BC.
5,500, yeah, the Fayum area, because a proto phase of it, which was really related to Hausa, believe it or not. Like me and you talk about this, it was close to Hausa, that branch of Proto-Semitic that leaked out, and it's not really even the Natufians themselves is something that was related to, because the Natufians kept going backwards and forwards. So a lot of those signatures is aboriginal to the Eastern Corridor.
Yeah, it would have been it would have been directly from a sister of the split off, when you have proto-Chadic, proto and proto-Egyptian and then proto-Semitic. All of them languages,
Yeah.
would have been similar. They, Christopher Eric called them the Northern Uritic languages.
Yeah, but look at this from G25, right? The principal component analysis that was used, and look at the plot. How the Yemenis Hara, the Cushitic Bija, the Eritreans, the Egyptian Copts of Sudan, the Egyptian Copts. Who's the closest population to these people? And we know that the Omadic component been drifting from the Eastern Corridor for north for a very long time, even when it went through its own adaptations and mutations. And we can't look at the Omadic people today and say that's what they look like. We're talking about the traits that these populations have. But I wanted to show you this, and I wanted to show the signatures of what was going on because see, the Natufians that came back into the Fayum area around 7,000 years ago, or certain portions of East Africa, that wasn't the actual Natufians directly. That was the Chalcolithic phase of the Natufians that was mixed with those populations that came from Iran and Armenia, the Lesser Caucasus.
The Natufians would have been even mixed. It would have even been mixed down to the what they call it, the Pottery B culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They would have been even mixed by then, you know what I'm saying, with the Iranian culture even by then. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to the Halfan culture, you know what I'm saying, coming back out of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, by the Halfan culture would have been a mixed culture, mixed with indigenous North Uritic Egyptians, you know what I'm saying, and people in them groups who mixed with Western Eurasian coming back, and also with some of them people coming in from the Red Sea Hills from the Eastern Desert.
So so here's a Natufian reconstruction. That's dope right there. Let me show you another one.
Yeah.
Let me show you some more, because people try to make them seem like they were just these friendly people. We got like 3 of them. I'm gonna show you. Here's another one. I like this one. Look at that one. Look at that Natufian. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the mutation on chromosome 15, so they were brown skinned people.
Yeah. And some of the like some of the proto Berbers would have looked similar to this too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to show you another one, and I'm not saying that they are West African, tropical West Africans, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all.
They their own people. Even
they own people. Yeah,
these people would have, according to, if you look up genetic.
That's a Natufian right there, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now go ahead, Gullah. I'm just showing these pictures as we go.
I would say, even if you look up the genetic history of Africa, you know what I'm saying, even say the ancestors of Afro-Asiatic speakers would have split off from Nilo-Saharan and Niger-Congo ancestors 50,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That would have been the ancestors of even the Proto-Semitic, Proto-Armadic groups. That would have been their ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Even then, they would have been a distinct group of people, even though, you know, even before the back migration of the Eurasian admixture.
Now this picture is very interesting because according to anthropologists, Chris Stringer and different people, when you start looking at that Hofmeyr skull found in South Africa, they said he resembled late Pleistocene Europeans, and they had to compare between the late Pleistocene Europeans looks a lot like this guy right here. Like early, a lot of the phenotypes that we have is later derived with tropical Africans. If you look at this dude, according to what late Pleistocene Europeans look like, he looked just like the guy right here that you find. And where's this guy?
Because even when you in East Africa around 7,000 years ago, you would have had a diverse group throughout the Rift Valley area. You know what I'm saying? Even those non-African groups, you know what I'm saying, would have came out of Africa and migrated out, you know what I'm saying, going into you know what I'm saying, Eurasia and different areas, you know what I'm saying, mutating. Some of them remain you know what I'm saying, keeping certain traits too. If you look at some of the ancient Vidoid people, even in southern Asia, you know what I'm saying, in India, you know what I'm saying, and even some of the people that probably still would have, some of the people that still would have been in Arabia too had some of those features as well.
Oh, absolutely. The better ones still look like them. I'm going to show them the Mahdi. But look at this. This is Brother Gaddafi. Brother Gaddafi is Amazigh, believe it or not. And we know that the Amazigh people have the Tephalit component from the Ibero-Maurusians. They also have the Neolithic European component that came from those Anatolian farmers. Now, you look at him, let's separate the later Eurasian component that came in, because we know an earlier population that came in. Let's look at what the actual Ibero-Maurusians look like. Let me show you something. This is dope right there.
And the Iberian Maurusians, you know what I'm saying, sometime around 16,000 years ago, they would have you know what I'm saying, intermingled with the early proto North Uritic population when the Afro-Asiatic speakers first migrated to the north, you know what I'm saying, giving them EM85 markers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
And this is an upper Paleolithic North African, Ibero-Maurusian. He looks a lot like Gaddafi, but more robust. He looks like him, but more. So a lot of our North African brothers still have at the deeper core, or if you look at them at the deeper root, they still have a lot of archaic North African traits, even before the assimilation of the Anatolian farmer component. This brother looks just like, or the Maurusians, he still looks like Gaddafi, he's just more robust. They also had the variation for the straight hair mutation, and they had darker skin at that time. I just wanted to say that. I'm going to show some more. This is from Engozi, who went to school for archaeology. He wrote to David Reach from Max Planck Institute. We got the proof of that, and they agree with this. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just got back in my computer.
And too, Engozi, the prehistoric Egypt, you would have had a version of the Iberian Maurusians as the Cormusian culture, all the way to the Harifian culture. You know what I'm saying? Ending around 16,000 years ago, right when the early northern Afro-Asiatic speakers was coming to dominate those northern regions.
Yeah. These are modern Egyptians right here, men in Luxor. They get lighter in the north. They still have brown skin in the south. So the skin variation, it goes from light to dark, but we still see these populations. These are not Sudanese. These are North African men. The lighter population, they can get even lighter. But I just want to show a few people. You're absolutely right, Brother Gullah. As you go in, I'm just showing the audience, you know, I mean, this shit not a game. It's really not a game, bro. It's not. Even this guy right here, you know, he looks a lot like, this is an Egyptian man. He looks like the statue. You know, the population in Egypt today are the people in ancient Egypt. We can't deny that. These people are North Africans. You know, you can't deny that.
Oh no, sir. You can't deny that.
Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
Okay, all right. Damn computer just whacked out on me. It was crazy. Yeah, hey, Gullah, you can pass some controls. You know how to do that?
Hold on, I'm gonna do it.
You just go to the thing with the people on it, and just click my name and pass the host on that. All right. Thank you, all right, appreciate that. All right. Okay, man, maybe we should put the thing in the chat, right? But yeah, the source I was trying to show just was talking about how these traits actually developed before Homo sapiens sapien with archaic human. All right. All the traits you see, the different diversity. I mean, and this is important because diversity is what actually helps save you. Because we're in an arms race. Okay? And our immune systems are fighting a battle every single day. All right. So if everybody was one way without being diverse, you'd be grass right now. Go ahead, Goldie.
Brother, I wanted to show this. That reconstruction at the top is Osa Man 1 that was found in Rome 35,000 years ago. This is what a lot of late Pleistocene Europeans would look like. So when we hear terms like Caucasoid or robust Caucasoid and certain traits, they look a lot like this, brother. But this darkness that they had in skin tone would have been something like this. Not to mention, I want to look at zone 2 that we always talk about. Zone 2, zone 1, and zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. The ultraviolet radiation and the Kalahari Desert of South Africa is very similar to North Africa. They even got a portion of South Africa where it says Mediterranean Sea, right? But when you look at it climatically, a lot of the modern Egyptian skin tone is very similar to this Khoisan man. You know, this is the Egyptian people. The guy next to the Khoisan in the middle was the Egyptian man. He looked a little darker. But then you look at this man at the top, that's a reconstruction of Osa Man 1 and the reconstruction of what these late Pleistocene Europeans look like. So when you guys hear terms, or not you guys on here, but when people in the audience hear terms like European, and even they try to slick the paleo, what they classify as paleocaucasoids look nothing like the gracile caucasoids that we see today. They were more robust. So we have to be very careful when we hear those terms because there's nothing to be scared of. So don't think like it's putting outside of the category as if it's separating the people of what we makes humans. So I just want to show that, and I want people to study Nina Jablonski. It's a book called Skin, and get the skin map, and you can see why a lot of populations have the type of skin tone that they have and what happened. But I'm just showing you guys another set of modern Egyptians from Upper Egypt, and these people are not the same. The Egyptian is not a Khoisan. A Khoisan is not an Egyptian. I mean, as a human, they're humans, they're the same. But I'm talking about the selective pressures or the distinction of mutations phenotypically. They're not the same. I'm not saying that these people are these people. I'm just trying to show you how skin works. You get what I'm saying? That's all. They're not even the same as this guy above, which is the late Pleistocene European, Osa 1 and Osa 2 man that they found. They're not the same in that sense, but as a species, we are the same. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, different populations.
Yeah.
And diversified. Think of them as being viruses or plants. Based off the ecosystem they're coming out of. So I just think, and out of that, humans develop culture. So our real focus should have always been on culture. Usually, like, what culture did we come out of? I think that's essential. And you get caught up in the race game. And now you hear people say, "Oh, y'all just trying to do that because you couldn't, because you lost. They wasn't black, man." So if we wanted to go I'm gonna let y'all know right now. If we wanted to play the people of color thing, y'all would lose. If you wanted to play the race card, you would fucking lose. Okay? Because all the anthropologists, I'm going to say it again, you'd be hard-pressed to find an anthropologist in the 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever the hell you went right now, that would remotely say the things that y'all say right now. Even when y'all trying to play the race card, they would not say what you were saying. So watch this and watch this, Gozy. And so if you want to use the word Negro, right? So we're gonna play the race game. You want to play the race game, Negro? You could never take the Negro out of that North African population. That during the time of Egypt and prior to it, you couldn't do it. I'm gonna say this again. If you want to play the race card and you want to make somebody a Negro, you cannot remove them out of the population. You be done. So anybody's thinking anything other than that, you're done. Yeah, take that, tape it, clip it, and I'm telling you that. Now, y'all can go ahead. Trying to get back on this daggone. My computer's just all messed up, yo. God, this ain't. Dang, yo.
Oh, this is something else. I wanted to say, a lot of the Eastern Mediterranean people that came back in a long time ago, they would have looked more like Sardinian populations, not modern Sardinia, because a lot of things are recent. But when they brought the whites,
like paleo Sardinia.
Yeah, paleo Sardinian. So they were very fair skin tone, dark hair, dark eyes. I actually had a picture of one who was she was not a reconstruction of her. A lot of those people found their way even before they split and went into Crete and went into Europe. A lot of them found their way in North Africa a very long time ago. These Eastern Mediterranean populations that drifted. We got to talk about that. We got to talk about what was going on. That Anatolian component is very strong in multiple places. It played a role in a lot of the events. And when we see our Amazigh brothers, North Africa, very fair skinned, again, these people are very ancient. They're very ancient. They're ancient. They're indigenous to Africa. So, some parts of Africa was barren and vacant, but the people still found their way there. So when we see a lot of our what they classify as Caucasoid, phenotypically and morphologically, they're African. Those lighter skinned Berbers, are African. They're North African. To be honest with you, the Moroccans are probably one of the, no one's pure, but one of the closest things to a pure Amazigh compared to other Amazigh people in Libya, Tunisia, and other places.
Because they got every level. They got every level of like the different populations over the eras.
Yeah, and they have a larger chunk of that Ibero-Maurutian DNA in them. Compared to other ones, it decreases the further you go east. But they have like the Amazigh Berbers or Moroccan people are some of the closest things to a lot of the original populations in that portion of North Africa. When you really start getting into the genetics, it gets real messy, yo.
Yeah. Even when you study the levels of DNA, it describes the different people that was there. That's in that one find they found from that 15,000-year-old remains. And they sequence in the genome represented, the green Saharan admixtures, Even though it was more of one thing, it still represented, them people that intermingled up there, even before the transatlantic slave trade. I mean, not transatlantic, but the trans-Saharan slave trade. Engozi is dropped out. Back in?
Man, bro. Battle Royale, man.
I think Engozi is dropped out.
Yeah, man. No, we're just going back. All right. Yeah, how long we been going, yo? So I think we left off at, I heard what y'all was saying. So what did you think about when we used the race? The non-scientific race thing. What do you think about that, Gullah?
I mean, I think it shouldn't be in a biological anthropological conversation at all. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
okay.
We
So,
talk about human variations and you know what I'm saying. I think, you know what I'm saying, I do know, you know what I'm saying, certain groups are distinct, you know what I'm saying, and I think it shouldn't be in a what's that? Something feeding back.
no, not no more.
Okay. But
Yeah,
yeah,
we
though,
good. I got it fixed.
but yeah, people should be described as, you know what I'm saying, described by that population, you know what I'm saying.
Correct. In that culture.
Yeah, you might have a certain phenotype that's common in certain populations. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean it's fixed. You know, because even
Right.
isolated populations can still overlap with other isolated populations. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you have different isolated populations all throughout Africa, as well as the back migrations as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I think we good right now. Let me see where we at, man. How many people we got, man? I appreciate everybody that came through, man. We don't want to overwhelm you, man. Let me see. I'll throw the link in the chat for a minute. See what y'all gotta say. And then I'm definitely out of here. We don't want to keep these too long, man. I think we put a lot of information on the table. And you know how it is when you put a lot of information on the table, man.
Oh yeah. This is a warm up, man. Like once I do the book out of the heat, this gonna go down. It's gonna be a lot of time taken. We're gonna do this like operation. You know what I'm saying? With precision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we did a good job today, man. Kind of putting it in there. Just getting you I put that in there just in case y'all got any questions, man. No matter what they look like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Let me pin that up there for y'all, man. Pin that message, man. There you have it. If y'all got any questions, let y'all in. Give y'all 5-10 minutes, man. Then we out, man. We had about, let's see, 70,000 in the building, man. Yeah, it's a good show, man. I think we proved our point on how variations and African populations are very diverse. I think we proved that light skin color genes and dark skin color genes existed before Homo sapiens sapien. We proved that. We read the source, that back, that up. Yeah, we talked about, here's some genetic, it says some of the genetic variants the researchers identified coding for both light and dark skin pigmentation were quite ancient before 300 to 1 million year old, meaning that skin color variance seems to have been present. Oh man, come on, y'all.
I'm gonna say, you know what I'm saying? Next show, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna build on this.
Yeah, Samantha Kiata. Okay. All right.
And it's discussing a brief review of Brace, you know what I'm saying, 1993 phenic analysis of Egyptian cranial series. Right. And this journal was from August 2020. Mm-hmm. And it was released in 2020 though. That's when they released it to the public.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Okay.
All right, let me see. All right, here you go. This one I've been trying to read all day on Oh man. Oh, sure. Here you go. It's a this is Penn State. It says some of the genetic variants the researchers identified coding for both light and dark skin. And we talked about coding what it meant. It says pigmentation were quite ancient, between 300 and 1 million years old, meaning that skin color variants seem to have been present since before, this is important here, since before the emergence of Homo sapiens sapiens. Tiskov noted that the work underscores the diversity of African populations and the lack of support for biological notions of race. And that's a key statement right there. Let me see, let me get these people on the panel, man. That's a deep statement right there. I want y'all to know that. Very, very deep statement there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with Black Line.
Hey, hey, bro, you reading, brother?
Huh?
You reading right now?
No. I just read how these mutations occurred before the emergence of Homo sapiens sapiens.
Yes. I just wanted to say, I looked at the chat and I'm watching Brother James, who always got something to say. And the other brother, Engozi is right there. Engozi can't, bro, listen. No one said that the Amazigh people are only light skinned. That's a racist mindset, bro. I never said nothing about their skin color. Well, I probably did. But I brought up the light skin. I never said they were only light skinned. The thing is that you're so racist in your mindset and so anti other people that you cannot fathom a light-skinned population existing in Africa. Everybody in Africa got to look like, I'm going to say it because y'all say I always say it, Patrice Lumumba. You think Patrice Lumumba is a true African? So the true African got to look like Burna Boy, huh? The true African looks like Burna Boy in your mind, which shows how racist you are. It's impossible for you to accept people living in Africa, regardless of if they back migrated a very long time ago. Some people back migrated into Africa before Native Americans crossed the land bridge, right? But it's very impossible for you to see those lighter skinned people who may look like French Montana as being African because that's a racist mindset. We passed that shit, yo. And I never said that all Amazighs. You have know how many tribes of Amazigh people you have? No one gives a fuck about color, bro. That's crazy. You got some Amazigh brothers that's darker than me. That doesn't, like I'm just saying, like, why is it that Engozi have to be this and that? Because I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm not here to give you no feel good information, bro. I don't give that shit over with. Like that feel good shit is done. It's over with. Like it's no more, bro. Like I'm not here to lie, make you feel good. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not.
So
I was just want to show this real quick with people that think it's just her is just straight and kinky, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you the different variation of her itself. You know what I'm saying? You have so many different variations of it. It ain't just kinky. You know, even kinky have different variations. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we are mutants, bro. All of us. Dark skin, light skin, Homo sapiens is mutants. We naked apes. I bet y'all don't like being called ape either, do y'all?
I don't like that. That'll hurt them.
The people in the chat don't want to be called apes.
hey, for real. Like even when we say ape or monkey, that's still colloquial, but all of us are simian. You know what I'm saying? Even if we wanted to use, if you were to use the word monkey in a scientific conversation, it wouldn't work because you have to call all the phylum monkeys, even including humans. That's why, you know what I'm saying? That's why we included as simians. It's not even really monkey is not even a scientific term. An ape is not even a real scientific term. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for confirming that we are the tribe of simians. Thank you.
Yeah, we are. We are.
What's going on, Raw Boom? What's on your mind, man? You got any questions?
No, I didn't see the whole live, but I got the gist of what y'all was talking about.
I'm saying,
I ain't got no questions, man. I saw you on the live with Sadnetta. I saw that one. It's a little too much going on right now, man.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, a whole lot.
Put it up.
I ain't gonna let them run into the whole nigga, yo. We'll pick my spots. Definitely
said?
pick my spot. I said I'm gonna definitely pick my spots.
Yeah, it was real greasy over there. They was all over the place. They was slipping all over the floor. The floor was greasy over there.
Oh shit, mixing up Jamal, because that's crazy. Okay, let me see what we got in there. We got Black Line. What's on your mind, brother? Got a question for us or what?
One love, family. How y'all doing?
Hey man,
Peace,
we in the
man.
game. In the game,
Peace,
just
peace.
teach
Peace,
me.
peace. I got a question for Engozi and a question for the panel. Engozi, the first image that you showed, I've never heard of that specimen before. Can you email me that information at blacklinesupreme at gmail.com so I can read it?
Yeah,
And my
mhm.
other
I'm
thank
sorry.
you
Go
very
ahead,
much.
brother.
And my other question is for the panel. Now, when we're talking about the out of Africa theory, when did the first migration of Homo sapiens take place? And where was it located? Was it in West and Central Africa, or was it in another place in Africa?
Homo sapiens left Africa twice. Our species left Africa twice. You had people that was like Jabella Hood that left 200,000 years ago. They found that skull in Greece, which was similar to Jabella Hood. And they also found that Y chromosome in Maltai Neanderthals, where the Neanderthal Y chromosome died out, and the archaic Homo sapiens bred with them. So it was very close to A00 that you find in Central Africa. So a lot of the early humans left out. Now, the successful out of Africa migration occurred between 70,000 to 100,000 years ago. But they're questioning if they migrated out of Sudan from the Nubian complex population or out of the Ethiopian area. Either way, those are the same groups of people that disperse out. And those early people were very close to those Hadza-like populations, what they're classifying as, because the BM60 is close to CTM168. And they're both siblings of children of BT, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. It would have been like the predecessor of the modern day Nilo-Saharan, Hadza, and the modern day Twa. You know, it would have been an ancestor of all three of them groups. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Before they became who they are today.
and they would have looked very close. Like if you look at the Tyrian culture, look at the skulls, they would have looked very close to Aborigine Australians, just less robust, but they would have looked like them. People ain't ready for that. They don't want to accept that. You know,
Wow.
look at the
So
skulls.
did they go into the north, Engozi? Did they go into the north?
They dispersed in between either Sudan or near Ethiopia, and then you had another one. There was a few out of Africa migrations because the D leaked out. The DE leaked out, but they don't know if that DE. Me and Gullah, we talk about it all the time. They don't know if that DE developed in ancient Arabia 70,000 years ago or Northeast Africa. Either way, it dispersed.
I was gonna say the latest information say it's in Africa because of the DO kind of trumps.
Yeah, that DO marker, yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
DO marker.
And it say it left out. It didn't leave out the same time the CT markers though. It left out a little later time. And that could be another reason why some of the Andamanese islanders, you know what I'm saying, still kind of remain you know what I'm saying, kind of, you know what I'm saying, kept they, you know what I'm saying, staying in those zones, you know what I'm saying, they left late out those tropical zones anyway.
Yes, and even with and then you also can have some places like people could have looked one way, but you have polytopicity or convergent evolution where you have tropical adaptations. And if you got a man that looked very similar to a person from Papua New Guinea and he stays selective pressures like that, because radiation causes damage to mutation. I mean, which causes damage to DNA or genes, which causes rapid mutation. So higher volumes of radiation or more volumes of radiation, more mutations. Let's just accept that. This is what's responsible for the diversity. If we understand the higher volumes of radiation. So like Brother Geechee said, they could have kept a consistent phenotype from people that were already from the they were tropical adapted from those humans that dispersed in those zones. It was also a fourth out of Africa migration with E3B. When E3B formed into EM215 and EM35 and split off into EM78, EM78 splits off its sibling branches EZA27 from EM35, EZA27 forms to EZA30, EZA30 forms to EM123 in the Levant. EM78 was also going into multiple directions. A clade of it left out and went into the Balkans around 14,000 years ago. That's EV13. You know,
So you saying the mutations already was taking place before they got to North Africa?
mutations is taking place right now, bro. It's an article. You could say, type this up right now. African Americans and European Americans have thicker skulls. Mutations don't stop, King. It's always happening. Human beings spend more time in Africa to be more diverse than populations outside of Africa. Not to mention back migrations, not to mention Africa have different ecozones, not to mention different diets, different levels of selective pressure. We were mixing even in our archaic phases. You know, that's what we do. So human beings spend more time in Africa to be more diverse than populations outside of Africa. And if you really look at out of Africa, or what they classify as non-Africans, which is really still Africans with non-African mutations, because those mutations didn't take place, or those allele expressions didn't take place on the continent, it's very short. And there's been a bottleneck from earlier populations compared to populations in Africa, but it's very small compared to the population of diversity in Africa. Africa is very diverse, from your fast twitch muscles, sickle cell trait that helps fight off malaria, high levels of the heterozygosity. There's a whole lot of traits to you being what they classify as sub-Saharan African than populations north and south in North Africa, or even the population in East Africa. But all of that is still inclusive to the whole of Africa. That's how crazy it is. Go ahead, bro.
And I want to share that this from 2020, where they talk about the different out of African Y chromosomes. So before the, different migrations. And I heard this is the article with a D marker. They say genetic studies by.
Hey, can you send that to me, King? I appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
BlackLawSupreme@gmail.com, please. I appreciate it.
Well, I heard it say a genetic study of how science 2020 on ancient and modern haplogroups using phylogenetic analysis, haplogroup C, D, and FT sequences, including very rare deep-rooting lineages such as DO, D2 samples by year 2019, argues taking the rare deep-rooted DO into account that the initial splits within the haplogroup CT ancestor of DE occurred in Africa. They also argue that this geographic analysis of ancient and present-day non-African Y chromosomes all point to a Southeast Asia as origin of 55,000 to 50,000 years ago of all known surviving non-African male lineages apart from recent migrations. Soon after an initial 70,000 to 55,000 years ago, migrations from Africa of basal haplogroup D and other basal Y lineages. They argue that these lineages then rapidly expanded across Eurasia, later diversifying into Southeast Asia, and then expanding westward around 55 to 50,000 years ago, replacing other local lineages within Eurasia. They include the haplogroup D as DM17174, underwent rapid expansion within Eastern Eurasia populations and consists of 5 different branches, which formed about 45,000 years ago. They find that these haplogroups currently have greatest diversity in Eastern Eurasia, Southeast Asia, Tibeto-Bernese populations of East and Southeast Asia were found to have the highest amount of the diversity. But the most of the the people that have this the most is the people of the Andaman Islands. You see the map right here, and the D markers even they move at a rapid pace. People of the Andaman Islands, they got this right here. You see, they came in through Cambodia. They didn't come in through India. They came in through Cambodia and went through the Andamanese archipelago. And they came there about 30,000 years ago.
It looks like your map is coming out of West Africa and then going into Central Africa and then into Asia. Is that right?
No, it's showing that it came from East Africa. The DO branched off from the DE, and that just one small branch went into West Africa, which is the DO. Yeah. DO started it.
Oh, so it's the other way around. Okay, thank you.
No problem, bro.
I'm telling you,
Thanks,
Black
fam.
Lions
Appreciate
Supreme.
y'all.
The story of us, man, as people is amazing, bro. It's
Yo,
very,
Yeah,
very
Engozi,
fam.
amazing.
yo, Engozi, put that
I'm
picture up.
learning.
Put that picture up you put up before about the modern population of Egypt or the ancient Egyptians. Put that picture up again.
Hold on. Oh yeah, I was listening to Shaka, bro. That was some wild shit, man. Oh my God, yo, that was some wild shit, yo. Hold on, I'll put it back.
Y'all stupid, yo.
What's going on with him? What he trying to be? He trying to be normal? He trying to blend in now with normal people now?
Yeah. He said
Shaka was going
he
in.
was just talking wild, yo. There goes some. I got a lot of pictures of him, but
He
Hey,
probably feel
so
left out now.
those
Everybody
people,
literate, man. You feel left
so
out.
those people right there you had up there, those represent the ancient Egyptians.
I mean, yeah, I mean they range. They always range in skin tone, but yeah, that's some of them. Like if you look at this guy right here, he still look like the depiction of the art. I mean, they don't. If you look up recent Egyptian genetics, these like it's an insult to say that they're Arabs. I could be arrogant enough to say that modern Arabs have more sub-Saharan African DNA than what they classify as sub-Saharan African than Egyptians.
And,
You hear
and,
me?
So I'm
even though, let me
Hold on,
say
let me
this
show
real
you. Let me
quick.
show you some more, Rob Bourne.
I would
yeah,
say
yeah. I
this,
just wanted to add on to my question. Y'all can keep going. I just did something else. So when we look at the material culture of the Egyptians, and when they say that they come from this land of gods, or they call the land of gods Punt, and now we got the baboon, and we got the DNA from the baboon to match it. Are those people?
I mean, paternally, yeah, they share the same genetic signatures with those people. Absolutely.
Yeah, they absolutely.
Oh,
But
okay. Them people.
But the baboon just proved that Hatshepsut was trading that Punt was in a retreat. That's what that proves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all I'm saying is the people of Eritrea, that's how they look. That's them.
I mean, if you going back 20 to the 16,000 years ago, yeah, that's the first.
That's too far, brother. That's too far, bro.
Not really, bro. Because that's
Bro, you
not
going
far.
too far, brother. You
No, that
talking
ain't far.
brother, because you got all different type of cultures that come after
Them
that.
ain't
That's
even,
too
bro.
much.
Nah, that ain't far. These ain't like, you know
So
why?
wait a minute. So hold on, Gullah.
No, let me break it down. You know why it's not far? Because
Gullah, wait. This is just real quick. I just want to make sure I'm
Proto-Afroasiatic languages was around during that
No.
time.
I
That's why
don't
it's
want to
not that
talk
far.
about no
This the beginning
Afro-Asiatic
of the
language.
Heliocene.
Brother, I'm just trying to get what you say. Hold on, just slow down for a second. You got the Engozi thing. You're talking too fast. You're talking too fast, bro. Hold on. So are you saying that the people 16,000 years ago are the same exact population that was there at the founding of Egypt? Those are the same people from 16,000 years ago. Is that what you're saying?
We talking about the original admixture, the proto-Afroasiatic speakers. They would. Let me show. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me show you something, bro. I'm gonna just show you. Hold on.
It depends on what part of the river you at.
Yeah. What years?
And that was the point. So if you look in Upper Egypt, we could tell that there's a different branch of Africans there. When you get to that lower part and that Delta part and all of that, we know that these Levantians and all these people was up in that area from the beginning. They've been up in there. There was no invasion. We already know that. We ain't got to go through that. So I don't think there's no answer to that question, fam.
It wasn't no invasion, but it always was people coming back in and forth. Like it wasn't just people.
I just said that, fam. They've been there. I just said that.
Right. Yeah, they range dark skin. You if I put Halaus on here, he'll tell you that Upper Egypt is dark skin. They call them dark skin. Dark skin African. But they're not Negroes.
So would it be safe to say that they dark skinned, they brown and light skinned, and all of these different periods? Like, I'm gonna ask, Engozi, is there any DNA from the first dynasty or second dynasty or the old kingdom?
Got none of that. No.
So we don't got no DNA from the old kingdom, but
not only do you not have any DNA, you don't have samples from the entire area. You only have samples for certain areas in Kemet. That's a problem.
So we only got the DNA when we know that these other people are admixing with them. And now we using that DNA to say that these are the people. Very interesting.
Nah.
Yes.
Because it's
That's
different.
that's not completely the truth, but it's close to
There's
it.
only certain levels of the DNA. You still got components that's still indigenous. You still got the component. You got the Coptic marker, and you got the Coptic component.
Coptic marker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What's
see,
a
the
Coptic
Coptic
marker?
marker, that's the Coptics are not the original people.
No. It don't have nothing to do with the modern day Coptic. This is what they call it. It's just a coin term for an indigenous marker that was there from the early Afro-Asiatic people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I
Before
got you.
modern
From
day.
what time period? Do you know from what time period?
Hold on. They use the last of the civilization to determine the mark. Because
Hey,
even in the
come on, James. Don't get caught up in the names. This is what it's called. You have to
okay, I
understand
get
what it
that,
is.
but
Got you. But what from what time
we're
period?
saying is, what we're saying, Gullah, is why would they use the very last of the civilization to coin who the indigenous people are?
Because the Coptic people still bear that indigenous marker. Them, the Beja, and different other groups in Egypt still have that marker, and in their languages still it comes from the original Egyptian language. That language is still there.
You know what I think? I think what y'all do, y'all try to use like the dates of Jesus to talk about Abraham. And Abraham was born 2,000 years before Jesus.
Abraham never existed.
I know Jesus didn't either. Well, I'm talking about the time frame that y'all will accept DNA from. Y'all accept DNA from a 2,000 year after the nucleus of the civilization. When that would be just like us accepting Jesus and not even talking about Abraham. That's what I'm saying.
Hey James. So you got a problem with DNA markers, yo?
No, what I got a problem with is y'all not acknowledging that the admixture comes from the Neanderthal genome.
No, it does not. No, it don't.
Okay. Let me ask you. Okay, so
no, it don't.
We got.
All right, man. Here we go.
Hold on.
I
That's why I'm
don't
here.
even like.
We got 2 minutes left for this. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not doing
that. I'm not gonna. I put some links off in there. I ain't even got to say nothing.
You ain't put no link to say that Neanderthal genes
it's a link
is in
off
human
in that
genes.
chat.
Listen, bro.
Oh man,
bro, listen. Human beings are 99.9 the same, yo. No matter what genes you think. So you saying that the genes ballooned up, you wouldn't even have a human. You would have a monster or something, yo. Knock it off, yo.
No. Listen to what I'm saying.
This is not gonna get. I'm not gonna argue with you over that, James.
Hey, James,
he's trying to get that off. Hold on, come on, Gullah. He thinks that because Neanderthal genes, all of a sudden, humans ain't 99.9. That's crazy.
Neanderthals are humans too.
No, man, I'm saying that all human beings are 99.9
They not Homo
the same.
sapien. They just Homo sapien.
I know that. Hold up. I know that, Gullah. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, and I hope
you cannot get us to understand that without a source.
I know that neither one of you know more than Savante Pablo.
We're not listening to you, man. We back every
year. So you're not going to listen. So you're not going to listen to a geneticist over to listen to Gullah. That's what you're saying.
Oh man!
But I listen to the geneticist, Jane. I'm showing you this. I'm going to show you this.
Why we can't listen to what the geneticist say?
We're going to do a whole just for
I'm
you,
going to show you
James.
this.
Hold on, hey, Gullah. We're not going to muddy it up right now. We're going to get off this phone.
Oh man!
But, yo, we're going to do a whole. Hey, yo. So
we don't want to show no evidence.
I'm going to give you 2 days. Listen, I'm going to give you some time to study before I beat the hell out you with this. So I'm tired of you saying it. You done said it too many shows for damn near a year. I'm tired of you thinking that Neanderthal genes some kind of way. Come on, yo, we're not talking with each other. I'm not yelling. I'm tired of you thinking that just because you got ghost genes or Neanderthal genes, some kind of way that changed the percentage. So they go from having 99. So you're trying to say that humans got what? It's only 99.99% no matter what you're talking about.
It wasn't even a lot. Even and two, it was out of African men intermixing with Neanderthal women. You know what I'm saying?
Those genetic markers show up in all non-Africans today. You cannot deny that.
If modern humans mixed with had babies with when they had babies with Neanderthal women, the males were not fertile. They couldn't, you know what I'm saying? They was like a liger, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't, you know what I'm saying, pass
Okay,
on.
so right there, you're
But the women,
identifying that there are two different species, are you not?
the mitochondria, you know what I'm saying, it's the little percentages. It's only found in the autosomal DNA. It's only small, you know what I'm saying? So are you saying Aboriginal Australians are Denisovan just because they have Denisovan DNA?
Yeah, hell no. He just fucked it all up.
No, what I'm saying is they have that percent. They have a certain percentage of them out there them living today.
What does it
mean? They have. What it means is that
they overall modern though, James. Like just like the Khoisan, they got Neanderthal DNA from South Cushitic
I bet you y'all won't click those links I put up there for y'all to click. I bet y'all won't click
no link, not
that.
tonight.
It ain't even got nothing to do with what I'm saying, bro. It got something to do with the real genetics. And y'all don't even want to let a real geneticist talk.
No, I'm not sitting. No, hold on. This is a real Black Atheist show, bro. This ain't the pseudo killers when you come on here with a bunch of smorgasbord nonsense and get it off. We don't get it off like that around here, James. And you know you my man. You sitting here trying to convince us that just because the population got quote unquote Neanderthal genes, then all of a sudden humans got more DNA. That's crazy, James.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so wait a minute, James. James, wait a minute before I kick you off. Before you hit the black hole for a moment. I don't know what you're saying, but what you can't do is you can't even explain it. So if you can't explain it, why are you trying to use it? So James, explain. Okay, James, check this out, James. What in the hell is you trying to tell us, bro, about Neanderthal genes and Homo sapiens genes? What does that mean, James?
It means that all non-African. I'm trying to simplify. It means that all non-Africans.
No, we want the complicated version, James.
See, there it is right there. It says account for 1 to 4% of modern genomes for people outside of sub-Saharan Africa. So all I'm asking y'all is, from a mathematical standpoint, how does if we all 99.9%, how are they adding in? They're saying that people that's outside of Africa have 1 to 4% non-African DNA. How is that possible? That's all I'm asking for, a mathematical question. And then when you go to the Papua New Guinea, they say it's up to 6%.
No, stop. Don't move that. Did you also see right here where it says Africans got them genes too? Did you see that too?
Africans, no, they don't.
Man, it says it right here, yo.
I got my own DNA, It say I got a very small percentage of Neanderthal. It's like a point. It's like less than a what?
You don't even know what that means. I'm not on with you, James. James, you gotta stop this.
Those genetics what make us different.
James, make a difference for what? James, hold on.
It gives them those genetic markers.
James, make a difference for what? Are you trying to say?
Those genetic markers is what gives them their phenotype. It gives them their phenotypical differences based on the environment that they mutated from. That's all I'm saying. And if y'all can't deny that, am I lying?
Yeah, James, you lying, James. That's what you're doing. You're doing like most people do. You're lying, James. You're lying, James.
But they will make them different from everybody.
You are crazy, James, right now, bro.
Okay, well then, if I'm crazy, click that video, and maybe y'all can.
I'm not clicking no video that you don't understand.
I'm saying.
James, listen, bro. Listen.
I don't know why y'all trying to make it seem like I'm slow.
James, you is slow right now. I don't even want to say you slow as molasses. You sitting up here trying to convince us that all of a sudden the Africans that left is no longer 99.9 the same. That's crazy, James.
Okay, well, watch. Let me just do this.
Talk, James.
Okay, let's just do this.
We're not doing nothing, James. If I pull up a source to say all humans is 99.9%, matter of fact, let me get out this show, man. I'm not doing this, man. I'm not sitting up here with this man just saying anything off the top of his head. For somebody messing around get tricked. Look, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. Right? Appreciate y'all coming through the show, man. Let me holler out people in the chat room. Not even
That's
listen to you,
crazy.
James. James, I'm not paying you no mind. I'm doing everybody like this. If you continue to hit your head up against the wall, I'm not gonna do it with you, James. I did it for 2 years straight with a group of fucking niggas. I'm no longer doing that, bro. I'm out of that, yo. Hey, appreciate
Read
you,
your
bro.
source.
Elite, I appreciate you more. One, what's this? Ben Israel, appreciate you. Sunline 55, appreciate you coming through. Boy, I see 23 Love. What's up, Sister Jackie? We're gonna have a conversation.
Yeah, crazy.
We do. Let's see. Tamika was good. Appreciate you coming through. Chef and L. Appreciate you coming through. Hold on. Yeah, see, Chef and jumping with the stupid shit. You know I'm getting off this motherfucker. Dumb shit. Dumb as a guy daggone box of rocks with the shit. Crazy. Say shit that scientists would never say. All of a sudden, the 99.9 is no longer that when they mix with home. Where they say that at?
Hey, the article I just showed you, I was trying to explain. They even said that the Maasai have percentages of Neanderthal DNA.
Doing that. I said I will dedicate a whole show to that so we don't get confused running around this motherfucker because he's confusing because he can't explain it.
Yeah, he got to be break it down to him in portions. He can't just get it all at once.
Yeah, I'm not told, oh man, everybody outside of Africa ain't the same. He talked most of you. We talked about the levels, the demi levels, and the different mutations, and all of a sudden he made a whole nother human.
Yeah, he could get a blood transfusion from someone in China right now if they got the same blood type.
I guess we bananas too, because we 50% banana. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, we bananas too, dog. Can't do it, yo. It ain't worth it, yo. Like, this is not what I'm doing. I'm not regressing like that, right? He got this whole cockamamie theory. Most people do. Then you get the cheerleaders cheerleading for that stupid shit, because it's stupid shit. The shit is very simple. If right now we can pull up a source that says that all human beings that reside on planet Earth all come from Africa, and you trying to talk about, I'm giving you an example, you trying to act like all humans don't come from Africa, then I already know you don't even got a source, bro, because that's groundbreaking Asar work where you just change the whole field. So James is attempting to do the same thing that Asar attempted to do, change the whole field. Knock it off, man. We're not doing that, arguing for 2 years over, oh man. Then he used Max Planck. You know what I'm saying? Popular with Max. Come on, man. Max Planck ain't overthrowing nothing. They verifying stuff. It's too late. Man, hell no. You think I'm gonna waste my shit at 12:30 at night? This dumbass shit? I ain't doing that shit, man. Man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate that shit.
Big Bang Theory. You can't do it.
Man, I'm not doing nothing. Listen, bro. I studied too hard to let some rookies come through, and I ain't even saying James a rookie, but he a rookie on some fucking genetics. Man, I argued with 2 years straight with dudes that ain't read nothing on the subject, and I ain't talking about read some cockamamie book that I wrote or some cockamamie geneticist all off somewhere that don't nobody even know about. No.
Yeah.
This is some basic science. So I gave y'all the tools. We talked about how genes express themselves, and at no point would that make you a different human.
Yeah, even Brother Reggie, if he read more genetic articles, he tried to run around genetics a lot. You know what I'm saying? If he actually read the articles and read the populations, he'd be cold.
You don't gotta run around nothing.
If you go back about 100 generations, you're gonna find yourself damn near related to everybody on the planet. That's just the way it is.
No, you only gotta go back that far, yo. How about that?
That's true.
You only gotta do that.
That's true. But I go extreme so they can't say it's too short. But if you just go back, yeah, it don't have to be 100. You're absolutely right.
Come on, yo, we don't gotta do none of that. Like I'm just getting started. I clearly know that people do not understand genes. I'm not sitting here acting like, man, and some of them genes that they got from the Neanderthal actually helped. But that still doesn't change the fact that they 99.9 the same, dog.
Facts.
You don't keep saying this shit over
There's
and over again.
There's no getting around that. It's impossible. Can't get around it.
Hey, Rob, right? I mean, I had to leave, Gullah. I don't know if you explained it to Rob, but I wanted to say something about when he talked about punt and the baboon isotopes. First of all, let me just say this. The Egyptian male line to this day is mainly consistent with the population in the Horn of Africa. They're EB12, but the Horners have EB32 subclade. The Egyptians have EB12. That's all on the EM78. Not to mention the umbrella of Afroasiatic, which is shared with those people. So paternally, Egyptians are mainly indigenous to North Africa. If you follow E1B1B or EM215, that mutates into EM35, EM35 goes to EB65, EB65 mutates to EM78, EM78 develops somewhere in between Northern Sudan or Upper Egypt, and it splits off into EB22, EB12, or whatever. EB12 had clades, which is EB32. EB32 goes back towards the Horn, so it goes from north to south. As it goes south, it meets up with those early Omotic people that it slightly descent from in an earlier phase of human history. And it meet up with those people, that's what gives the first phase of what we see in the Horn. So paternally, a Somali, a Eritrean, anybody with EM78, not just them particularly. If you got EM78 in the form of EB12, it's shared. Where did that mutation occur? That mutation developed of EM, not E1B1B, but the clade, the later downstream mutation. I mean, the later clade of it, the mutation of it. EM78 formed that clade of E1B1B. That clade developed in between Northern Sudan and Upper Egypt. And there was a lot of north to south. The same thing with those Natufians. That EZA27, which also came out of EM35, splits off into EZA30. EZA30 goes into the Levant and creates that EM123. Some of the Natufians even had E1B1, which is the same predecessor root that gave rise to EB38, which is E1B1A and E1B1B.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why by the time I got to the pottery culture, you only found like 6% of the Amadic ancestral component in it still.
Telling you, James, you better get ready, boy. We coming with the Neanderthal show.
And to help Engozi on the mtDNA side, you still even though it's not as dominant, you still find L3 markers, basal N, you know what I'm saying, and certain M markers that belong to the Afroasiatic population.
Bro, I don't know what the hell y'all. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
So
yo, Engozi, I don't know what you talking about. All I know is that we ain't got no DNA from the old kingdom. I know that ain't nobody get off no goddamn slave boat saying they commit. They ain't called on no Amun or none of that. I'm good, bro. I'm good right there.
That's a fact. But let me just show this to you.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, Rob Bourne, this is a chart. This shows population movement from Egypt to Nubia, area of Somalia, started about 24,000 years ago. EM78 mutation is present in East Africans and occurred in Northeast Africa, not East Africa. And it occurred in a mixed Eurasian North African population. The expansion was most likely from Lower Nubia area. It might explain why Somalis show some similarities to the ancient Upper Egyptians, primarily the Badarians, as their ancestry comes in fourth time to the same region, and they are less influenced by the later migrations from Arabia and West Africa. The haplogroup involved with EM78, E1B1, M1, M18 are shown below. So there you go right there. That's the connection.
Right. So now even with that though, you just want to be clear here. Were there people in that area that had white skin? And you said 24,000 years ago.
Oh, no. None of these people were white.
Right. This is why you gotta be. I know. This is why it gotta be clear for the people. Listen. I'm just telling you how people look at this. When you start saying erasure, and you start saying these things, it puts it in that perspective. This is how people are perceiving.
But listen, but Rob Bourne, listen. Even before the SLC gene migrated back into Egypt, probably around 8,000 BC, you know what I'm saying, or 10,000 sometime, you know, somewhere around there, because around 22,000, it still was lingering around the Trans-Caucasus area. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
In certain areas of Anatolia, it didn't even spread all the way to Anatolia. 8,000 BC, and I'm gonna say this: even before then, you had the basal early Eurasian.
Not the basal.
Eurasian components that back migrated in around 20,000 years ago, intermingled with Afro-Asiatic, proto-Afro-Asiatic species, and them people look like early South Arabian population, like Didoids, like people in like Dravidian type people that intermingled, and they were dark skinned, and they probably had wavy to curly hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, mtDNA. Let me just say this, Rob.
Wait. I want before you go what, because you're about to go off. I know you're about to go off. That population you talking about, that you just finished talking about, Gullah, that's the population that's in your first dynasty, Egypt.
No, that's the first level. That's the first level mix. By time you get to the first dynasty in Egypt, you had that level mixture, like the Somalian type, and you had, you know what I'm saying, the later admixture from that group, from them mixing with Eurasians.
Okay. So you saying that they had wavy like hair and shit? That's what you're saying?
They had. They looked at the wheel plate.
Sometimes straight hair.
Let me tell you this, Rob Boy. Eurasians came back into Africa in multiple phases. One 23,000 years ago. One as early as that is 40,000 years ago. M1. Another one came in 6,000 years ago. Another one came in 5. They kept coming in consistently, bro. But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to those people on the horn, those people, they wasn't, not even modern Egyptians today are white. They wouldn't be classified as white or black. You know, so again, that's the colorism that because we've been exposed to that type of stuff based off the recent social constructs. But a lot of those modern Egyptians still resemble the shit that you see on the artwork.
You right. So they got, I just want to clear that you saying that these people have wavy like hair.
A lot of them had
samples that we have, Rob Bourne.
Yeah, from the samples that we have from the Bureau of Rouge, and some of them, a lot of them.
All right, cool. So I want to show you something. I just want to know what y'all got to say about this. I'm about to share my screen. Hold on, I want you both to answer this.
You would have had Nilo-Sahareans around.
Yeah. That's all cool and all that. Yeah, cool, whatever. Here's the pre-dynastic Afro pics. So wavy haired niggas was using this. That's all I want to know.
Hey, Rob Bourne, if you look up ancient Minoan combs, the ancient Greeks had those type of big combs too. Now
you're gonna have to show that. You said it. But you're gonna have to pull it up. Hold on. You gotta pull it up.
Hey, Gullah,
I want to deal with these pre-dynastic niggas with the wavy haired niggas.
Hold on, let me just say this. Hold on, Rob Bourne. Rob Bourne, you do have people with Rob Bourne, listen, it's not homogenous. You did have people with loose curly froze. I'm not.
But that's not what you said though. But that no, Engozi, you didn't say that.
Okay, well let me hold on.
Engozi, y'all gotta slow down. Y'all talk too fast, bro.
Let me explain what I'm
trying. This is real quick, bro. Gullah said it. I asked him 2-3 times. I said, yo, are you saying them niggas have wavy like hair? Yeah, are you sure them niggas have wavy like hair? He doubled down on it. Then I asked you. Now you want to say, some of them have curly hair.
Come on,
you gotta say it all.
You have to let me explain what I'm trying to say, bro. Listen to me, bro. We don't know what I'm trying to say is this. Just because a few people had afros, which I'm sure they did, does not mean Listen. You have hold on, let me explain what I'm saying. You have statues in Nakata where you see the brothers with afros on there. No one's denouncing people having fros, but what I'm trying to say is what people are denouncing is that loose straight hair that was up there for a very long time.
Long time.
People don't want to deal with that.
And truth be told, the blowout afro is an East African hairdo. That's not a West African hairdo. West African
I'm not claiming it's West African. Listen, y'all. I'm not. Listen, brother.
Only African Americans have big afros because we have different textures of hair.
So wait, whoa. So you just said African Americans have big afros?
The afro is the African American hairdo because we mix
we're doing hair shit now.
There's no Egyptian art with afros on it, bro.
The big blowout, the big blowout
afros,
the big blowout loose afros.
We got a new one. It's called hair shit.
That's the East.
That's the fuzzy wuzzies, man. Them DJ. I never seen a Europe. I mean, the people that we come from, I ain't seen no motherfuckers in Europe or no Igbo.
Hey, Rob Boy, you should have showed the wigs, bro. You should have showed the wigs with the braids.
Come on, son, Lion, man. Listen, man. Chill, bro.
Hold on, Black Lion. Let me just say this. Have we ever seen a Yoruba, Mandinka, Igbo with a Jackson 5 afro? A lot of that shit, you see that in the horn, bro, with the fuzzy.
Yeah, all I'm saying is this, brother. Listen. We all know what causes that hair, right?
You see that more people that mix with Eurasians. You see that more people.
You gotta be careful with this word, son. This is the shit that be bothering people when y'all niggas be saying Eurasians, bro. Are they black people? Do they got melon? Are they dark skin or are they white people? I want y'all to specify that for the people.
Rob Andamanese Islanders.
That's why niggas be arguing with y'all because you're not specifying it.
No, because you thinking through the narrow. You looking through a straw.
No, I'm not, brother. All I'm asking you when you say Eurasian, listen. When you say you, okay, cool. I'm cool with all of that. All I'm telling, I know this is not a hard concept to understand. When you say niggas is Eurasian, they not thinking about people with dark or brown skin. I hope is that hard to understand, brother?
Well, they just got to get out of there.
We get you on this. What you saying?
They just got to get out.
That's all I'm saying, brother. I want y'all to make that clear when y'all talking.
I don't have like. That's my issue. They have a complex. That's not my issue.
It's just not enough specimens that's being found yet. Unc brought this up years and years ago. He said this years and years ago, Rob Bourne. We don't have enough specimens to go on to see who was the original people that was there with their DNA.
So that's not what's going on this channel. These brothers are speaking with definitive.
Because the samples are still there. You still have living people still there.
Okay, bro, have a go. Hey, look, what's being denied though, regardless, again, when you look at those mummies or the weed that you find over there, them niggas do not have the same type of hair. And I'm not basing no race off no goddamn hair texture. That's stupid. Because my hair texture ain't even what people could say it is.
I'm not saying that either, brother.
I'm not saying that's what you're saying, Rob Bourne. I'm saying that's what people, like when you say how we explain things, people would take it the wrong way. And I know you're not saying that, but the audience would think that when we talk about hair, that the argument is about hair. Hair is not a determining factor of who is who. So
wait a minute. Hold on. We got to stop, bro. So when we talk about what causes our hair to be frizzy and these things of that nature, this is a certain subgroup that has this genetic trait. Is that not genetic? That's not dealing with genetics, brother?
It's a little expression, but this is what I'm trying to say. But again, but let me just say this, because
listen, man, I got that wavy hair shit out of here. As long as you admit that niggas have afros,
let me finish. Let me just say this. He said,
but it wasn't no small tight afro like a Nigerian. They got tight
small type afro.
Yo, I'ma start pulling up them Egyptian afro niggas on you, man. Don't do it.
Hey, let me just
pull up the wig maker, bro, and all the wigs with the braids and stuff.
Hey, I want you to type up Queen T and Ramesses and look at them niggas' hair.
Nah, man, I don't want to talk about them. Y'all niggas scared of the old kingdom. Nah, I don't want to talk about them niggas that go. Engozi, y'all want to talk about the old kingdom? Fuck them niggas.
Okay, let's bring up old kingdom. Let's look at Ginger. Look at what Ginger looked like in the old kingdom. The Jebelian mummy. Look what he looked like. Look at his hair. Look at the reconstructions. Look at the reconstructions of Jebel.
I don't know about no. Wait. Who you talking about? Slow down.
Why you think a lot of Northeast Africans put their butter in their hair to make their hair harder to deal with the heat?
That's a possibility.
Are they making wigs?
So this is my last question to y'all. This is my Black Lion. Chill out, bro. This is my last question to y'all. Are the Egyptians indigenous African people? Yes or no?
Yes, they are.
I'm done. What do you say, Gullah? What do you say, Gullah?
I think Gullah got.
I say yeah. From the base level, even the different levels of back migration from Eurasia, even some of those markers mutated in Africa when they back migrated back those branches. You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Look, I suggest everybody get a copy of.
But I want you to look at. I want Rob Bourne to look at them ancient Greek combs and look at the similarities.
But it goes.
I ain't looking up nothing. You gotta show me that shit. You gotta show me these fucking shit. Son Lion, hold on. Yo, listen. You got your pom-poms in
No,
your
they
hand?
different. I ain't gonna get
Can't Jews have afros? Don't Jews have afros sometimes?
Yo,
Yeah,
ain't
they
no
call it
such
Jew
thing as
fro.
no Jew. We ain't doing that.
It's called a Jew
We
fro.
ain't doing that.
Hey, this
No
is we
such thing as
doing.
no
Listen,
Jew, no real
But
Jew.
in Gozi, when
hey,
Full
Garfield,
X
I
come
mean,
up
my
here and talk
fault.
about some nappy-headed people and Kenny,
Rob, you got this,
he's making
right?
the same kind of argument.
Yeah,
You got
I got all of them, yo.
So
You
do
got
me
the
a
new,
favor.
you got the
look.
last one they just made, brother?
Huh?
Did you get the last one they just made?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, that shit lit. Go ahead.
Look, so listen, I want you to read this. Go right here, right? And come
What was
back
that, Unc?
and
Put the
ask
book up.
questions.
What's the name of the book?
The Ancient Civilizations of Africa, General History, Book 2. All
By
right.
who?
This is about UNESCO.
Okay, got you.
All right. You come here, right? We want to see what the anthropologists guys say about it back then, right? And to get a good foundation of what the hell everybody's talking about, and you just come here, right? And hold on. They was trying to measure how many Negroes was there, right? This speaks to everybody's conversation. All right, you got to know what Diaz was talking about when he said Negroes. And Gullah next show, he's gonna start it off with that. See, I think everybody's very, very confused, right? And this racial construct will confuse the hell out of you. But in this book, The Origin of African, the origin of the ancient Egyptians, right? And it says, page 15. I want you to read page 15, yo. Chapter 1. It says, evidence of physical anthropology on the race of the ancient Egyptians. All right. And it's very, very important to read this because they was going back and forth, but nobody was saying what dudes are saying today. Wasn't nobody saying it wasn't no Negroes in Egypt. That wasn't even up for discussion. That wasn't even close to it. They wasn't saying it. I'm saying the most racist people wouldn't say it. Now, all of a sudden, everybody got slick, right? Think they fucking up the science, but y'all definitely ain't read this, right? It's called Superior, all right? We're going to close out the show with this. So, Rabon, I want you to go pick that up, yo. I know you got it on your download somewhere, yo, and come back and start laughing.
It is funny.
Laughing.
But yo, listen, somebody got to be the commission on here, bro. Somebody got to be the commission. So I got to be the Netaru today.
You're gonna be look, you're gonna be laughing, right? Watch this. They can say any look. See, one thing I know is that these were scientific conferences we talked about here. And in the 1974 and in the 1800s, nobody ever said that it wasn't no Negroes in Egypt. They never murmured it. They were like, yo, matter of fact, it was so many of them, they just say, hell, they the slaves. See, if y'all want to play that, the Negro, okay, they was like they slaves. That's how they relegated them out. Last time I checked, you dig somebody up. How you know what their ethnic identity is? I say it all the time, yo, if I died with this uncle on, you'll swear I was a damn Egyptian. I don't care about no damn being a damn Egyptian. I speak fucking English, right? Speak broken English. Broken goddamn English, right? Look, if you judge me my skin color, then you confused. You know what I'm saying? If you bury me next to my aunt, she wear a cross. Now you thinking she's something else. So you saying they digging in the ground, and did they wake up the people and say, yo, do you worship Egyptian gods? Do you speak Egyptian language? Last time I checked, we got a whole population of people who from Mexico that speak Spanish. They speak Spanish. You got people that speak Spanish, don't even broken English. So you got people in America that speak Spanish, people in America that speak English, broken English, all kind of shit going on, yo. But they still Americans. And we have a national identity. So imagine being in a place where there wasn't a national identity. But you really got to study this. Oh, I'm saying the population. What are you saying? The Nile River is a corridor for gene flow. And by the time you get 7 generations out, a person could be your genetic ancestor, right? Can be your genealogical ancestor, but not your genetic ancestor. What the hell I just say? I'm saying by the time you get 7 generations out, A person can be your genealogical ancestor, meaning your great-great-grandmother. Without your great-grandmother and your great-granddaddy, your ass ain't on this show talking. But they don't have to show up in your genes. Most of y'all know what the hell y'all talking about when it comes to genes. Most y'all ain't read this. Listen to the book. You can just listen to the book. She goes off to say, she says, let me read our ass up out of here after all the confusion. And I'm gonna get you, James, that Neanderthal bullshit you talking to. It says, she says, talking about skin variation and genetic variants, different forms of the same genes. Right? We're talking about different forms of the same genes. We talk about that all the time. Different forms of the same genes. Different forms of the same genes associated with both dark and light skin have existed in Africa for a long time. The variants that are associated with light skin were common not just to Europe and sometimes in East Asia, but also amongst sand hunter-gatherers. These are the people of South Africa who have the oldest genetic lineage in the world. So you're talking about people with the oldest genetic lineage in the world are light skinned. So now you're trying to tell me, well, that person is light, so they don't mean they're African. Okay. It says this suggests that rather than occurring independently outside of Africa, as new mutation gene variants associated with light skin may already have been part of the human genome, when people first migrated out of the continent, it says, thus not only people with dark pigment skin occupied Europe, but even earlier, there were genetic variants for lighter pigment skin in Africa. Let me say this again. Thus, not only did people with darker pigment skin occupy Europe, we talked about all that in the show, but even earlier, there were genetic variants for lighter pigmented skin in Africa. Given the evidence so far, here we go. She's using Tishkoff, suggested that lighter pigment skin may even have been ancestral state in long distant past. Underneath their bodies, chimpanzees or closet genetic relatives tend to be lighter skinned. Their dark body hair provide protection against the sun. We talked about that before. They say when our ancestors left the forest and went to the savannas, there would have been selection for better thermoregulation. So getting rid of your body hair increased the number of sweat glands. And if you're decreasing in body hair, there would be selection for dark skin. Darker skin could have been one of the adaptations to new living environments within Africa. When scientific constructions are made of early human species, such Homo erectus, right, they are almost always given dark skin. However, Tishkoff, I don't think that's necessarily the case. But light and dark variants have been around for very long times. And there could have been variants in Africa millions to 2 million years ago. So I'm telling you, you're sitting here thinking you know what the hell you're talking about mixing. The key here is that whatever mixing took place, you got people from outside of Africa came in and mixed with indigenous African people. And to this is why we say they indigenous Africans. There has been no time when the outside population has replaced that population that was homegrown in Africa. No geneticists will dare murmur that. You never said when it's the other direction. We never hear you say, well, those Europeans that had those, how about those Greeks? Because we can use it, right? How about those Greek population that had those African, what you consider a regional African mutations in them? You never say the Greeks are African, do you? You have a fit, don't you?
Facts.
Oh, y'all didn't know that they actually got those genes and they have those same type of mixes. You think it's in Africa and you want to play the game? Oh, we can do that in the other direction. So we're not going to play the race card, because if we play the race card, you still not going to win that. I'm going to say it again. If I wanted to play the race card, I'm going to beat you. But since I want to keep it scientific, I'm going to beat you. What you should be focusing on is the goddamn culture. Now, hey, Raw Boom, you get a chance, yo. I want you to, I know you got it on your download, yo. I know you got it on your download, right?
I got it. I got to just pull it up. But yeah, go ahead. What you want me to do?
So if you pull it up, go to page 15 and start laughing.
Yeah.
If you really want to do that, I mean, not the first chapter, just start laughing. I mean, come on, dude. Man, look.
Yo, somebody showing a pseudo picture. Who doing that?
I don't know, but they had one picture that looked like Leon Smeeks from Egypt.
That was it. Who did that? My brother Engozi.
Did you
put them red niggas up there?
Hey, Rob Boone, did you find that, Rob Boone?
Hold on, let me go get the book. I'm gonna get the book. Wait, look at Engozi picture. I'm about to get him out of here. Watch this. Go ahead.
Before you, let me just say this, yo. I'm showing the pictures, and as I said before, let me just say this.
Go back to Leon Smeeks, Engozi.
Oh, Engozi only showing niggas with Fulani features, bro. I want y'all to bear witness to the shit this nigga doing, bro.
No, listen to what I'm trying to listen to what I'm trying to say, though, King. Listen, you know, all Fulani don't look the same. Some Fulani can look like people in Togo. You know, they don't got one look. But let me just say this, though, brother. All I'm saying is that hair is not a determining factor. And Brother Ankh just explained it. Even skin is not a determining factor of who is who. And what I'm trying to say is that you did have people in Egypt with froze. You had like loose fro. I just showed that statue that I showed. The people hold on, let me just say this. The people that's on Narma's palette, the brothers with the two froze with the finger, no one's denouncing that. You know, I even showed a modern Egyptian, light-skinned Egyptian man with a fro or a curly fro.
Well, why you keep showing us light-skinned niggas, bro? You don't want to see them light-skinned. Yo,
that look like a brother,
going on. Brown-skinned brothers gotta speak up.
Hey, hold on, that statue looked like a person from that portion of Africa. He still didn't look like a Yoruba, Igbo, or Mandinka. Let's just be for real. Like
I mean, he looked like a brother for real. Engozi, go back to it.
I mean, he is a brother. Even the lighter skinned people, brothers. They all brothers. Why we can't? Why is it color thing, bro? They all brothers, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
I'm just saying, man. He look black for real.
Yo, I just got 2 words for you, Engozi, and it has to do with the Netaru. Tell me about Tyrod Netter, son. You know who that is, right?
Oh man.
What about Tyrod Netter?
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
With the curly hair?
Yeah, I want the people to see what we talking about.
Go ahead.
So this is why we got a problem with Engozi. He trying to turn us into Egyptians to Fulani, yo.
No, I'm not. Not at all.
Everybody pay attention to the screen exhibit A. This is by Finders Petrie. You see it right here. The Tyrod Netter is the pre-dynastic being found by the British Egyptologist W.M. Petrie. Let's go back. The father of prehistory Petrie excavations of Nakata and Nabalas in Upper Egypt nearly 100 years ago underneath this. Now, what he say on the bottom here? It says, we found that they occupied southern Egypt and Nubia, and the name is also applied in Sinai and in Libya. So we do know that the Egyptians were in southern Levant because they had Tel Assakhan. But anyway, let's look at this face, bro. That nigga got an afro. That nigga got a big nose.
Hey,
you not gonna get away from this picture. I'm gonna be a commission today, nigga.
Hey, I got something. I got something in response to that. This is art. Sometimes art can be exaggerated. The same way the old man.
Come on, man.
Hey, hold on, look. I'm not saying, no. Listen, King. Look, let me just say this. According to the skulls of the Nakata, the people in Nakata matches up more with populations in Luxor today, or even the northern.
I don't know about that. You're gonna have to source up for that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, look, do me a favor, Rob Boy. Type up Nakata skulls. And
look hold on.
I'm gonna look up that thing. I'm gonna close out the screen.
No, don't close that. Don't close.
Leave it open.
Let's read what Petrie said. Petrie says something about this, right?
But even the modern Egyptians.
Hold on, Gozi, relax. Hold on.
I'm gonna turn it bigger. Hold on. Let me turn it sideways. All right, go ahead.
Okay. That's the Anu people type. So if you keep reading, hold on. Go down. Let me see. What book is that? The book? Nah, here you go. Look.
Nah, it's in the the Oriental book. The book.
Right, what is it called? Look. Human images of proto-historic period, right?
Take it off the screen or leave it on there.
No, just keep it there. Blow the picture up. I want everybody to see what Petrie said.
Okay.
All right, it's on page 17. It say the study of human images made by Flint's Peachtree on another plane shows that the ethnic type was Black. All right. He says, according to Peachtree, these people were the Anu, whose name has been traced to a proto-historic epic. It say, as we shall see later, Mem, who was worshipped by the Anu, was called by the tradition of Egypt itself, the great Negro. I wonder where he got that from. It said,
I don't know where he got that shit from too, bro.
Hold on. He said, after a glance at the various foreign types of humanity who disputed the valley with the indigenous Blacks, it said Peachy described the Anu who occupied southern Egypt and Nubia according to certain portraits of Tarnetta as Black. So he was saying that Tarnetta was Black. That's how he felt. Right? I think he said some of them things can be exaggerated. I agree. But maybe, let me keep reading though. It says, Alamany lists the geographical order of the fortified towns built along the length of the Nile Valley by the Anu Blacks. It says Insu, the southerner, on Herpolathis and Dendera, a town called on by the name of Tennis, and the northern on, or Heliopolis. They say the mural in tomb SD63, sequence date 63, Heliopolis, shows the native born Blacks subjugating the foreign intruders into the valley. It say, if we accept Peachtree's interpretation below, is the Black ship of Heliopolis belonging to the Black men who are shown as conquering the red man. This is crazy. So this is Peachtree. You know Peachtree was straight racist, right?
Yeah, he got the dynastic. He got the dynastic race theory, but for him to call him
he got
Black,
the whole So I'm saying that picture is very complicated right there, and he was using race. But to them, like so you would never find nobody trying to take not even the racists. They never was trying to take the Negroes out.
James Breasted was saying something similar too.
No one, Soy Kiata,
until he got checked.
Soy Kiata or any anthropologist, no one ever denounced equatorial African present drifting there. No one ever denied that. But what the people are denouncing is those morphologies that were not like that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like,
that's wrong. That's just as wrong, Gozi.
I'm saying in the mindset of the average so-called Black American, I'm not saying us on here. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about in the old community. They think that all of the Egyptians are like Burna Boy.
True.
They all look like Burna Boy and that lady Lapita. That's it. Facts. If they don't look like Burna Boy or Lapita, they are not true Egyptians. And that's pseudo as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, Engozi. You're right about that.
No one's denouncing a Nilotic population drifting there. No one's denouncing the Omotic population that drifts there. But what people are denouncing is the Eastern Mediterranean from those Anatolian farmers that drifted there, those Chalcolithic cultures that drifted there, and all those other people. I mean, even with Jebel Sahaba, it talks about the Quadan culture looking one way and the other group looking another way. You look at Ibero.
People like Fool X is denying it in Engozi. He said no people with nappy hair was in Kemet. That's what he said.
I don't.
Hey, so check it out. Go ahead, Engozi. My bad.
Listen to what I'm trying to say. The hair again. There were populations of a few people that drifted up there, and no one. What I'm trying to say is, anthropologists wouldn't deny that. As a matter of fact, there are articles, right?
Nah, Engozi, you got to change that. They called this dude a goddamn chief, bro. We're not going to use the word they just drifted up there. They are part of the establishment of Upper Egypt. And I'm being clear about this. They are a part of the establishment of Upper Egypt, bro.
No, let me just say this. You have many components. That person could have been a chief or a set within a component that drifted there. There was other people that was also there. You get what I'm saying?
No doubt about that.
Show me a person. Show me a person that got that name. Listen, it goes. That nigga last name is Netta. I am representing the Netta tonight, nigga. Nah, but this is what I'm saying. Seriously, all jokes aside, I'm just fucking around. But it appears to me that I think that in that southern part, I think that those are where you will have what we classify today as your blackity blacks. That's what it appears to me. When you get to that lower part, you got that, and then you got them mixing up and things. I don't think we never gonna know, but for some odd reason, they hate they hate looking at that upper. They hate looking at Upper Egypt. And when we read all of the races from Breastrid and all of them motherfuckers, they have to say it. But them niggas black. Yeah, they religious. Blah 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 blah.
That's exactly what they said.
But it's just weird though.
But I think we're cleaning up the racial construct because even Diop's admitted that Diop said a white race came in and mixed with the down there in Nubia. So we never denied that. So I think the truth is we're just giving a clear picture of, you know what I'm saying? So that's not, that'd be crazy to think that.
It isn't.
Even Diop said that.
Nubia is indigenous to North Africa?
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Oh man, Gullah left. Fuck. I wanted to ask. So do you know about this? So when you see them dating the first dynasty, you see Petrie put that shit like that 5,000 BCE, and then you'll see Berster and Masperio put it at 7 and 8. Why did they all of a sudden? How did they go from 7 to 5 to 4 to 3? How they just did that, son?
Because they was getting pressure put on them by racist dogs.
Nah, man. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. It's not good enough.
It was for them. It was for them. It might not be for us, but it was for them.
I don't know, man. It is what it is, man. I don't know. This shit is crazy. You know this shit is all crazy, right?
Yeah, it's all mixed in.
All I gotta do is, what's the other thing they like to pull up? The hieroglyph of the Egyptian face, the D2 glyph, and you pull that face up, the nigga with the nose with the face.
Oh yeah, that's
that picture was the final dagger, Rob. Damn, bro. Damn.
Yeah, I got Engozi out of here. I'm representing the nether.
Oh man. All right, look, man. I think we got it in there. So we.
What you got coming up next? What's the next build you got coming up next?
We're gonna deal with I think we're gonna deal with the Neanderthal, yo. So I just want to make it clear. So, we're gonna stay with the anthropology, and in that anthropology, race has been discredited as pseudoscientific. But as I read these earlier authors, right, they was trying to use the race shit. And even with trying to use the race shit, they couldn't deny, right, what they felt like was black people or Negroes. Remember, that's the classification they was using. Mm-hmm. So now we realize that it was heavy mixing. And even the anthropologists, you'll see, I'm telling you, Rob, read that chapter 1, you're going to say, wow.
And check out Emily Teeter. She was on Garfield. Garfield did an interview with her. She said that they were black too.
Let me find this shit, man. Let me find this shit. Let me look at my thing. I got too many. Yo, bro, I got 4,000 books downloaded on my phone.
You can't just type. You can't type it in.
Yeah, I'm because I got all of them history ones. So let me just put general history in there and see what happens. General. Oh, I got it. Here it is. Oh, wait, which one? That's volume 2, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at. All right, so I see volume 3 here. What is that? Volume 7, volume 6. The fuck is it?
Yeah, I'm back, yo.
I don't got it. Yo, leave me alone until you give me with the Greek pick. I don't want to talk to you. Trying to.
Hey, no. All I'm saying is this, though, King. Like that art or that depiction. Art is exaggerated, and what I'm saying is that I know anthropologists would deny what's classified as the Africans with tropical limb proportions. That there's a difference between tropical limb proportions and body breadths that goes into something different. So no one can deny that. But what I'm saying is that when people think about Egypt, though, bro, they think about a land with people that look like Sister Lapita, which is beautiful, and people that look like Burna Boy, and that's the true Egyptian. And they denounce the population as there, as if those people are not the people that descend from those ancient people. And to this day, you find that with curly froze, you find people that with straight hair, you find people that with brown skin, you find people that with lighter skin. Like it's like when we see these people, we call them Arabs, and that's like an insult, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's an insult because they're not Arabs. They're
I
not.
don't know. I don't give a fuck who they is. They enslaved my people. They
Not,
said
no,
fuck
no,
the
no.
prop.
The,
They
the,
said,
the Egyptians didn't enslave those people. The Arabs
oh, you
enslaved.
talking about? Oh, I'm talking about a different time frame. So the niggas that's called them Arabs, man, fuck them people, man.
Yeah, but you know they never.
I got it, Garfield. I mean Garfield. Fucking Ankh. It's downloaded. I'm gonna wait till it's downloaded. I'm gonna pull it up because I know you probably want it on the screen. Go ahead, Engozi. My bad.
Those Arabs, you know, at a specific time, transported people, you know, from zones that we come from Western Central Africa. Western Central Africans never had nothing to do with that place in Egypt. We never were slaves there either. Now, when it comes to our Bantu cousins from Tanzania and Uganda, or those people,
Engozi. Saul said that the Egyptian language is Bantu, and them the Bantu people are the Egyptians, nigga. I'm the yo. Yeah, it's downloaded right now. It'll be up in a minute.
Go ahead. What studies have we really had between Egypt and West Africa, bro?
You say
how much studies have we had? How much information have we?
There's a couple of there's some stuff out there, but I'm not here to talk about that.
Yeah, based off my research, I don't know what Rob Bourne got and what others have, but based off my there's no connection. My ancestors never had nothing to do with Egypt.
But what I'm asking you,
hold on. Let me just say this. Black Lives Supreme. Let me also say this. We never had nothing to do with Nubia either. Those people are not even those Nubian people. No, I think none of those people are my ancestors. I come from West and Central Africa. We had our own,
no doubt about it.
Our own foundation.
Let me ask you
this.
Son,
Engozi. That's not what they're saying. Engozi, listen, man. The oral traditions of somebody of Akanda, they said they came from Egypt. They got the word Amen over there. What's up?
Oh, no.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Nah, we ain't gonna sit up in.
Hold on for 1 second. Engozi.
What's up,
According
brother?
to Emily Teeter, there's not been a lot of study between Egypt and West Africa. Is that true or not?
Nah, that's not true, brother.
That's not true. But what I'm saying is West Africa, it's a lot of stuff that hasn't been discovered in West Africa. You got to understand the climate of West Africa, why a lot of stuff don't survive. And also there's not a lot of people don't invest to even do research in West Africa. But what I know from for now, based off West Africans and who we are, we don't have nothing to do with Egypt. Dynastically, or none of that. That's not us.
Yes,
son. That's not what. Hold on.
Black Lives Supreme. 12 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I would have said that was our cousins. I do consider them my cousins because we're all related.
Yeah. You're the one that told me that.
Hold on. But let me just say this. 8 years ago, I would have said West Africans and the Egyptians were the same because we all went through that phase in some form of in the
Engozi, you violating the Netta rule number 1. Ramses III had E1B1A. I'm done. Good night.
But I want to say something about that. But that signature or that clay that exists before, that marker is very old. E1B1A is old. So even if you got white man in Texas with E1B1A.
No. You're trying to get slick, nigga. You trying to get
How
slick,
did he
nigga.
get it?
I got it. You want me to put it up there now?
Yeah, put it up there.
Hold on.
I'll explain how you got it whenever Rob one finish.
Yeah, Unc wanted me to show this shit right here. Hold on, let me put it up.
They're raping our ancestors. There's no big surprise that he had.
You said what page, Unc? 15?
No, on the page, chapter 1.
Chapter 1, what page?
Chapter 1, shit. It's gonna say chapter 1. The
right,
first page in chapter 1.
All right, cool. I'm almost there.
All right, here, go down to
introduction, not the introduction, right?
No, hell no. They don't even talk like this no more. What? This shit was crazy. Watch this.
Man, it's a long ass introduction.
I'm about to say the same thing. It's the longest introduction I've ever seen.
God damn, it's 20 pages. Me almost 30 pages in the introduction, bro. Look at that black man. Look at that black man, Gozy.
Come on, Engozi.
All right, here we go. We right here. So this is Sheikh Anta Diop who wrote this, yes? That's what it say.
Yeah, read the anthropology.
Okay, it says the general acceptance of as a sequel to the work of Professor Leakley of the hypothesis of mankind's monogenetic and African origin makes it possible to pose the question of the peopling of Egypt and even of the world in completely new terms. More than 150,000 years ago, beings morphologically identical with the man of today were living in the region of the Great Lakes at the sources of the Nile and nowhere else. This notion and others, which it would take too long to recapitulate here, form the substance of the last report presented by the late Dr. Leakley at the 7th Pan-African Congress of Prehistory in Ababa in 1971.
Oh, hold on.
It,
Hold on. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So right there.
The mountains of the moon.
Yeah.
it means that the whole human race had its origin, just as the ancients had guessed, at the foot of the mountains of the moon.
Yeah, so we're gonna discount that. But look, but what he's saying is that people, that's just wrong. Well, we couldn't find that. But what we can find now, we can actually verify that people on the Nile in the early time period. Right or wrong, Gozi?
What's that? What did I miss, brother Ankh?
That humans are on the Nile early.
Absolutely.
700,000 years.
Yes. Homo
Okay.
Bogeyman.
Yeah, I got that in. Ian Shaw went.
So hold on.
I got his shit too.
Okay, so it says, what does it say? It's from the Upper Paleolithic to the Dynastic
from the
Epic?
Upper Paleolithic to the Dynastic Epic, the whole of the rivers basins was taken over progressively by these Negroid peoples.
Yeah, okay. So you're talking about the original Homo sapiens. Now watch this. Evidence. What did they say?
Evidence of physical anthropology on the race of the ancient Egyptians. It might have been thought that working on physiological evidence, the findings of the anthropologists would dissipate all doubts by providing reliable and definitive truths. This is by no means so. The arbitrary nature of the criteria used to go no farther, as well as abolishing any notion of a conclusion acceptable without qualification, introduces so much scientific hair splitting that there are times when one wonders whether the solution of the problem would not have been nearer if we had not had the ill luck to approach it from this angle. Nevertheless, although the conclusion of these anthropological studies stop short of the full truth, they still speak unanimously on the existence of the Negro race from the most distant ages of prehistory down to the dynastic period. It is not possible in this chapter to cite all these conclusions. They will be found summarized by Dr. Emil. I don't know how to say that name. Emily Massoulard.
Yeah, Massoulard.
Miss Flower.
Go ahead. I want you to go down to the measurements of which leave open choices.
This next chapter, where the quote under that,
it is worth noting that the nasal indices of Ethiopians, Dravidians would seem okay, but look at the people that they're using.
Yeah. Keep going. That's what I'm trying. Look, I'm trying to bring the whole show full circle, yo. It's funny.
Okay, it is worth noting that the nasal indices of Ethiopians and Dravidians would seem to be approximate them to the Germanic peoples, though both are black races. These measurements, which would leave an open choice between the two extremes represented by the Negro and the Germanic races, give an idea of the elasticity of the criteria employed. A sample follows. An attempt was made by Thomas and Randall McEver to determine more precisely the importance of the Negroid element in the series of the skulls from El Amara, Abydos, and Ho. They divided them into three groups: Negroid skulls, those with a facial index below 54 and nasal index above 50. Short, broad face. That sounds like the Tarnetta. That sounds like my man. Now, let me stop. Short, broad face, and a broad noise. Number two, non-Negroid skulls. So we got those people there. Face index above 54 and nasal index below 50. Long, narrow face, and narrow nose. Intermediate skulls, assignable to one of the two previous groups on the basis of either the facial index or on the evidence of the nasal index, plus individuals marginal to either group. The proportion of Negroes would seem to have been 24% of men and 19% of women in the early pre-dynastic, and 28% respectively in the late pre-dynastic. Keith has disputed the value of this criterion selected by Thomas and Randall McEver to distinguish the Negroid from the non-Negroid skulls. His opinion is that if the same criteria were applied to the study of any series of contemporary English skulls, the sample would be found to contain approximately 30% of Negroid types. All right, so they're going back and forth with this.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going percentages, but they're not taking them out of there no matter what. Keep going.
Okay.
Right there.
Falkenberg.
Right there. Go ahead. Watch it. Go ahead.
Falkenberger reopened the anthropological study of the Egyptian population in a recent work in which he discusses 1,787 male skulls, varying in date from the old pre-dynastic to our own day. He distinguishes four main groups. The Sori, that's on page 421. Let me just keep reading. The sorting of the pre-dynastic skulls into these four groups gives the following results for the whole pre-dynastic period: 36% Negroid, 33% Mediterranean, 11% Cro-Magnoid, and 20% of individuals not falling in any of these groups but approximating either to the Cro-Magnoid or the Negroid. The proportion of Negroids is definitely higher than that suggested by Thomas Randall McIver, though Keith considers the later too high. Do Falkenberger's figures reflect the reality? It is not our task to decide this. If they are accurate, the pre-dynastic population, far from representing a pure breed race, as Elliot Smith has said, comprised at least of three distinct racial elements: over a third of Negroids, a third of Mediterraneans, and a tenth of Cro-Magnons, and a fifth of individuals crossbreed to varying degrees. You want me to keep reading, or we can stop
just
here?
right there. You good.
All right, so
closing out.
So
what's the point? What was the point of you reading all that? Think of the point.
To show that the niggas was always there. There was
funny.
other people from other places that were there. And that's really it. And that's what Ngozi's been saying.
Yep, that's what he's been saying.
That's what Gullah has been saying.
Yep.
And this is an old study.
Yeah.
And this is not even using DNA. This is using skulls. And they came to this conclusion without DNA.
That's the conclusion, despite discrepancies. The degree of which they converge proves that the base of Egyptian population was Negro in pre-dynastic epoch. Thus, they are all incompatible with the theories that the Negro element only infiltrated into Egypt at a late stage. There you go. So we see it's still, and that's why the whole shit is confusing, because you can't get them out of there, yo. You can't get that element that you want to relegate them to sub-Saharan Africa. You want to call them Negroes, you're going to call them super Negroes. You don't call them this, you call them that. You can't get them out, and then you can't make the whole population that. That don't make sense. And so I'm going to make the statement again. There's an indigenous population that never left the Nile. All the way from 700,000 years to these archaic humans went extinct, they were still living on the Nile. So when you look at today's population, that population ain't never left. But the original Homo sapiens sapien population ain't never left. They just been amalgamated into each other over time periods, intermixing back and forth like humans always will do.
Right. So my last thing for you, let me see if I got this here. I know you saw.
Engozi. Am I wrong on that or what?
Oh, go ahead, y'all.
I'm gonna let Rob Bourne go in, but I wanted to explain the population. That's why I say to this day, the populations that you see in North Africa, they are indigenous. They are that. The modern Egyptians are the ancient Egyptians. Those people been there. I mean, they have a genetic continuity that's been shared from that portion of Africa to the Lesser Caucasus for over 30,000 years, in and out. From the first out of Africa exit, was the Tyrian culture. After the Tyrian culture, you start to go into the Halfan cultures in that area. After the Halfan, you have the Sibyllian culture, the Kodan culture. You got all the Harippian culture. But there has been a genetic continuity between North Africa, the Levant, the Near East near Iran, the Lesser Caucasus near Anatolia and Armenia, all those zones. They've been swapping genes for a very long time. And this is even why amongst the Natufians, you see certain North African signatures amongst those people.
Right.
And Engozi.
Hold up, before you go, Sunlion, before you go, I just wanted to play with it. You see the book right there, right, Engozi? I told you I got it. See it?
What book?
Yeah.
I'm taking a screenshot of this right now.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
that's a
wanted to.
good book.
That shit crazy. I might be. That's a secret dagger. This book right,
Got it.
series right here.
Huh?
This series right here is the up to date. It's a 4-part series, bro. This is the up to
I got
date.
it.
This is the up to date scientific study of the people in the Sahara and where they went and who they are.
Look
Woo-hoo-hoo.
it out. Appreciate it.
But
But
anyway,
Engozi,
I'm gonna let y'all
Engozi,
finish. I'm gonna get and
Suits,
I wanted to show Ankh something. Go ahead. My
No,
bad.
go back. That's let me see that.
Pseudo X is saying that it was
No, I'm
Nah,
not.
we don't
none of
mention
our
that
people
name.
was
Him
there.
pseudo dude.
Nah,
No,
man,
no.
come on, man. Get off that,
Hold
yo.
on. Let me just say this. He's right about what he's saying, bro. We're not gonna do that, bro. He's right about what he's saying. You got to hear the whole story. We're not gonna do that.
Nah. Yo, listen. I'm not even going with that. Yo, bro, listen. What we talking about now
He's not
is
pseudo on that.
what we talking about now is what these other people are not saying, right? We had just went through something where we telling you that from the material culture of the actual people themselves and what we have in pre-dynastic, even if you want to claim it, it was for some reason now that when we look on the wall, well, maybe they exaggerated. Then you got the racist white man who is has the dynastic race theory that these people originally came from Asia or some other place.
No, that's not true.
What happened?
No, go ahead. That's not true. No invading race theory. That's nonsense.
What, the dynastic race theory?
Yeah,
That shit is bullshit. But anyway, what I'm saying is we talking about an indigenous population of Africans there, right? And in regard with whatever, this is what is being left out. Everything else we could agree with. We telling you like, okay, these are these people here. You got this trait here. Look at and everybody claiming they read check their Diop. They claiming they read it. The shit right there.
Yeah.
We telling you like, yo, and what that confirmed is what the DNA confirmed 50 years later.
Yeah.
So like you not gonna remove the indigenous or black or what the term we use in a person with dark skin being there with some Eurasian or some Mediterranean person who is not of African descent. That's what's being left out of that. So, brother, he's 100% wrong on that.
But let me.
Whoa. Hold on. Who was y'all saying was right? I was saying I ain't saying the nigga name. I ain't saying the nigga right. That nigga don't explain that shit right.
I'm saying he's right. I mean, I'm saying he's when it comes to the articles, I'm saying he's right. I mean, they don't agree, but I'm saying he's right. That's just what it is. I mean,
I don't agree. I don't agree with they Mediterranean niggas. I don't agree with that.
The ancient Egyptians are neither black or white, and our population of people had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but I don't agree. I don't agree that they come
from
the Mediterranean.
No. Yo, I mean, like, this is gonna go down a rabbit hole. Let's just be clear on it. Let's be real clear.
So why we gotta bring his name up?
Yeah, man, that was this fucking dude over here, man. I don't even like talk. Yo, but what
his name up? Did you do that, yo?
I ain't do
Black
that
Lion
shit, man.
did that shit, yo.
Yeah, I did that because
nah, man, we don't want. Yo, let's move it on. Let's move the conversation on. Let's move it on, man.
I thought he was lying on Engozi. Now Engozi say he agreed with him, so I know he's not lying.
And now that we got Engozi here, and we just went through all of this, that's not what's being said, son.
No, that ain't what's being said.
That's not what's being said.
I want to drag. Hold on. I want to get Engozi out there for reasons I'm not getting all into, yo. Get him out. Just get him out.
Let's get this up here, Unc. I wanted to show you.
You can book. Say, hey, Rob, for me, you can say.
Yeah. All right. You see this book here? Hold on. Let me go to my.
I gave up where I was talking about. Let me see.
This book here. The Oxford History of Ancient Egypt.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You see this prehistory, right? What we was talking about.
Yeah. See.
So let's get it in. That should say 700,000 BCE.
Yeah, that's what we talked about on the river. We talked about that.
Right. Yeah. So you see here, it says it has become a truism that ancient Egypt was a gift to the Nile, blah, 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 blah. This, however, has not always been the case. The very earliest inhabitants of Egypt lived in a different kind of environment. First, the climate was not always as arid as it is now. Modern Upper Egypt being one of the most arid regions in the world, oscillating instead between the present hyperidity and dry Sahelian condition. Secondly, the river itself was not always a meandering river in a wide floodplain. A lot of people don't know that, bro. You just looking at, look at the fallopian tube. Nah, but let's keep going. Where we at here? I I haven't opened this shit in a while, B. Because I don't even talk about this shit no more. Because I think
So I was right about that population being on that now that long.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So it says, because of its geological position, Egypt certainly served as an important conduit for early humans migrating from East Africa. Hold on. This is the Oxford. Y'all like white people because this is the only shit you got to use. So we gonna talk about Oxford. We gonna let don't argue with me. Argue with the Oxford niggas. All right, let's keep going. Because of the geographical position, Egypt certainly served as an important conduit for early humans migrated from East Africa towards the rest of the old world. We know that early Homo erectus left Africa and arrived in Israel as early as 1 million years ago. There is therefore no reason to doubt that small bands of Homo erectus visited the probably stayed in the Nile Valley. Unfortunately, only very sparse evidence of this event is available. And worse still, it cannot be dated because circumstantial evidence is also very poor. Let me get here. So here's your lower Paleolithic. Many lower Paleolithic artifacts, including numerous hand axes, Archean type, have been found in and on local grave deposits. No human bones have been found in Egypt in association with the Archean phase, but Homo erectus can probably be assumed to have been the maker of these artifacts. So this goes back into you finding human tools, but because of the weather and everything changing, you don't have it. But how do artifacts get there? Animals ain't making that. The people is making it. But this was just to your point. I haven't opened this book in a long ass time, bro. This shit go from 250,000 BCE. Hold on. It says the pictures that emerges for the Egyptian Middle Paleolithic is rather complex. It originated in the late Archean when hand axes became associated with bifacial phyllites and a typical Nubian napping method. Hold on, nigga. What's that, Engozi?
So I wanted to talk about that. That's the same. That right there is based off the Nubian complexes. They call them Levius tools, and the Nubian complexes is part of the Tyrian culture. We know that Homo sapiens sapien. I'm not talking about even Jabal Hud, which was our archaic Homo sapien. He was not from Morocco. He drifted up there and died because they found the brother branch to him in South Africa called Floor's bed skull. So what we know as Homo sapiens sapien, if you look at the torso of Jabal Hud and the torso of the Tyrian culture drifted up there later. The Tyrian culture stretches between 130,000 to 30,000 years ago. So yes, those people which were part of those same Nubian complexes who drifted out, those two that you found that split through Upper Egypt and Northern Sudan and went into the Arabian Peninsula, those same tools is what you find in early North Africa. And it splits at root with those Homo sapiens that separated from Northeast Africa around that Ethiopian area, they drifted north. So that's just a fact. If you look at the Tyrian culture, that's all they are. Homo sapiens is a species that develop in tropical zones. And as I brought up earlier, if we understand how radiation damages DNA, which damaged DNA causes mutations, most organisms with higher values of radiations are going to go through more multiple phases of mutations. That's just what happens.
But before you go in, Engozi, what is the Nubian Livialas?
The Levy, that's what I'm talking about. They were tools that they used. The Nubian complexes, they were like for hunting. So what they used was they found it all through North Africa, all through the Arabian Peninsula, all through Oman. So I want you to type up the Nubian complexes. So that's a very long time ago when Homo sapiens first formed.
125,000. And that's the Nubian type, though. That's why they call it the Nubian complex.
Right, because they found those tools first. Way before they found them in Arabia, they found them first in that Sudanic area. Then they also found it later with the Tyrian culture that was all through North Africa.
Yeah, let me say this though.
We gotta go through these periods. Yo, bro, I haven't read this
real quick. When the scientists was looking at the tools and they was in Arabia, they opened them motherfuckers up and said, "Oh shit, Nubians," just like that, yo.
I mean, so like what we talking about here?
It's the same tools that they found in Sub-Saharan Africa. They found them in Arabia.
My brother Engozi, this is a different conversation we having right now, bro. We talking about something that's clearly identified as Nubian architechnology. We talking 100,000 BCE, bro. This is something different. This is a different conversation, Engozi. That conversation is not being had. I'm not even saying that, yo, bro. I refuse.
Let me just explain something to you. Go ahead.
I want you to go in, but I refuse to have these type of conversations with people that don't fucking read.
Let me just say this.
I can't do it.
I want to explain something. When we talk about this, is when humans first developed, right? Well, Homo sapiens had a long run. By the time we got proto phases of us, or archaic phases of us before we have us detailedly, or what we have now. But when it comes to this place called Egypt, if we got to take away, we can't talk. I mean, what I'm trying to say, it's not good because let me just say this: those people that you found in Arabia and those tools were the first, but are related to all humans that disperse out of Africa. Those people, like if you knock out the latest signals of Eurasian from population that disperse out of Africa, it looked like the exit route was before those people. So those humans are related to all people. Right, so that's not a good example, because those people are related to the people that left out of Africa and became the other looking people.
No. We're not doing.
Let me just
go ahead.
I'm almost finished. But when we talk about Egypt, we got to start. Let's start from that 5,000, 6,000 year range. When we start talking about that,
hold on. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on. What I want to say is, the development from the Badarian to the Nakada, what I'm trying to say is that the populations that you see today, because those people that's responsible for those tools, they're related to everybody. They're related to all humans, everybody, especially from people that descend from what they classify as Eurasian Adam, CTM168. They gave rise to DE and DE.
All right. But check it out, Engozi. I don't think it's right what you're doing, because just them haplogroups that you name it is 30, 50, 70,000 BCE, and they go to a different place. That Nubian technology ain't in all of them areas where you have people that share that haplogroup. The area that we're talking about right now, we talking about 700,000 BCE, and it's going to go all the way to that area. So when we talking about that, and they telling you that this is what this is, what's the problem, brother? How you going to use DNA? How you going to use a haplogroup?
No. Listen, let me just explain this. 700,000 years ago, those wasn't Homo sapiens. Those Homo.
I got you. I'm cool with that, brother.
Let me just. I know. Let me just.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
Let me walk it down. Listen. So 700,000.
Let me mute my mic. Hold on. I gotta mute my mic somehow.
700,000 years ago, we got Homo heidelbergensis, or Homo Bodhi man, right? And then we got with the Tyrian culture, which is what those tools are from. The Tyrian culture that stretched through Sudan, Arabia, all of North Africa, that ranges between 150,000 to 30,000 years ago. Then you start to get populations that back migrated to Africa from those Near Eastern areas, or Dazana areas, or Dazada area, or Dazazada area, from the Lesser Caucasus, Cro-Magnon people, which is still Homo sapiens sapien us, back migrating, bringing mitochondrial DNA U6, bringing mitochondrial DNA M1, and later becoming this Ibero-Maurutian people. They're combining with the fragmented populations of the Tyrians that was left behind. That layers the indigenous North African component. Let's just get that out the way. What I'm saying is that from the Ibero-Maurutians, you have even a little bit before that, you got different phases. What formed the Ibero-Maurutian component? You start to get into the Halfin cultures that will combine with that and those other groups. Then you got the Capsian culture that comes in. But we want to go past that into the phase of Egypt, right? Around 7,600 to 6,000 to 5,300 years until the dynastic periods that we know. When you start getting into that, the populations that's there now, regardless of the different layers of Eurasians and even the indigenous North African component, are the descendants of, or are those same people. There has been a continuity amongst them since that time. So we want to focus on that time period, because when you start going back to the Tyrian culture, all out of Africa niggas is related to them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, cool. So, this is weird. I don't understand this logic. So, like, even when Gullah came on, he said, okay, 16,000 BCE, these are the same DNA trait, the same people there. So now if I go to 20,000, it's a problem? I can't do that?
No.
All right, so look. I just want to do this for the people.
Boy, right? Listen to my argument. Listen.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not saying you.
So are you saying? Oh wait, I want to be clear. So are you saying that same mixed population of Negroid, Nubian, and Mediterranean, and that's the same population group is that what you're saying?
Let me explain it. Listen, 20,000 years ago, that's an older element, right? what I'm saying is that the population there still have that component in them, that
Okay,
Coptic
all right.
component, or that it's
Okay.
still in them. That's their ancestors. That's their component. That's a distinct
Okay.
component. What I'm trying to say is that regardless to what they look like, population turnovers. What I'm trying to say is that even the population there now, if you look up that, they have North African and Eurasian or Middle Eastern North African components that's been fused for a very long time. So what I'm saying is that what you're reading, Brother Ra, that's one element, that's one component. No one should deny that. But we have to also talk about the full spectrum, because if you put their DNA,
are we not talking about the full spectrum right now, brother?
No,
all we doing right now is showing the archaeology,
right?
The material. Hold on. We showing the archaeology,
right?
The material culture, and the technology, and what the experts are saying. Before there was a first, I want this clear. Before there was a first dynasty, the technology that is there, that is used, these tools that are used to hunt and to build, they naming it Nubian. That's the part I want in there.
But they only, but the nomenclature, hold on, but listen, the nomenclature that's used for those tools, they only saying that based off the region of where they found them at first. I'll give you an example. Listen to me, Rob.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm not going against that.
Okay,
go ahead.
Like the cave art that they found in France first. It was in the Cro-Magnon caves. So because they found it there first, they classified the people as Cro-Magnon people. Or when they talked about Neanderthals, when they found the first Neanderthal fossils at. The first Neanderthal fossils was found in the Neanderthal Valley of Germany. So they classified them as Neanderthal. These nomenclatures is based off the first base place that they're discovered. That's not what they literally was. So because they're using that term vaguely like that, Nubian complex, it has nothing to do with the later phase of what's in that Nubian history.
That's not, hold on, brother. That's not what this said in the first chapter, what I just read. That did not say that. That's not what this said. Oh, I'm gonna go right back to it. Hold on, let me go back.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me see. Is this it? Nope. Let me keep going. Where the fuck did it go, man? Because I looked at my thing. Okay, prehistory from Paleolithic to the Barbarian. Okay. It has become truism that ancient Egypt was a gift of the Nile. That's that. Hold on. Let's go to this page. Blah, 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 blah. Because of its geographical position, there's that. Nope. Hold on.
Gotta go to where it says napping.
Oh, yeah.
Napping method.
Right.
And I still don't know what that is. I've asked like 5 times. What is that?
Okay. So this is the picture that emerges from the Egyptian Middle Paleolithic is rather complex. It originated in the late Aeolian with hand axes, became associated with bifacial foliates and a typical Nubian napping method, such as this is the technology, bro, that they naming this.
Yeah, that's how they napping is how they shape the stones. But go ahead.
Exactly, that's how they shape it.
Right. So it says such as assemblies may date from 250,000 BC. The fate of sites with such assemblies is similar to that of the Aeolian. All over the desert, one can collect scattered artifacts which once belonged together in a site that is now destroyed. Judging from the higher number of such artifacts, it is tempting to assume that the population density was high. And it goes, as in many areas of the old world, the Egyptian Middle Paleolithic is characterized by the introduction of Lavoisier's method, that's that technology from the Levant, a special technique designed to produce flakes and blades of fixed dimensions from a flint noddle. In addition to the classical Lavoisier approach, the Nubian Lavoisier's napping method was introduced from the production of pointed flakes. And then it keeps on going. Like, I don't know, bro. And right here, it is mainly known. Look, hold on. It says the Nubian Middle Paleolithic characteristic by the Nubian Lavoisier technique and bifacial phylites and what is that? Pedunculites. It is mainly known from Nubia.
From Nubia. So
stop right there. Hold on, bro. Wait. Hold on. I just wanted, because I couldn't remember, son, because I know I read it. And this is talking about an area, fam. And it's talking about that.
Right, but listen to me, King.
Let me do this real quick.
Hold on. Let me just say this, but it's gonna take me 3 seconds.
Go ahead, son. My bad. Go ahead.
because it was known and discovered in that area of Nubia first, they labeled them the Nubian Lephius. So what I'm saying is that because it was discovered there first, they started discovering it there first. So ever since then, that was the nomenclature that relates to that. But what I'm trying to say is that we got to get past. Well, this is me speaking.
Oh, is this the expert speaking? Hold on. We want this clear for the people. Is this what the experts say, or this is what Engozi said?
Yeah,
this is what the expert is saying. Listen,
I saw something.
Yeah. You just read it, but let me just finish. Go
ahead, brother. Finish Engozi. Go ahead.
Freeze that real quick. Freeze that.
Hold on. I'm almost finished. I just want to say this before y'all go in. Early human hunter-gatherers used this. The people that left out of Africa, the early North Africans, and the people up, they use these tools, right? But when you talk about Egypt is an agricultural society. It's based on
that time period yet, though, go.
Right, I know that. That's what I said. By the time you start talking about Egypt, you're talking about an agricultural society. They're not even using those tools no more. They descent and became a whole nother distinct population from the earliest population. So what I'm saying is that those tools are just old hunter-gathering skills of scoping and molding skills that happened first in between Sudan before dispersing out. That ain't nothing but the Tyrian culture. That's all it is. If you look up that Tyrian culture, look up who those, that's the same people.
Yeah. But hold on, Gozi. I'm saying
you see what I got on the screen, right?
No. Yeah, but ain't nobody left out of Africa yet, though. You Rob Bourne talking about the time period when ain't no back migration yet, though.
Right, but that's what. But right at that time, let me just say this.
Finish my point. So let me read the chat, and I'm gonna ask you what you think. Yeah, shout out to Cosmic Corey. He says, Pep, excuse my people. They are misinformed by Ankh and the conscious community. Shaking my goddamn head. So Ngozi, when we talk about the population of Egypt, right? When we talking about these time periods here right now, biological organisms, are we talking evolution or not?
Yeah.
Absolutely, we talking about evolution. I mean,
hold on. So anybody trying to act like that the conversation ain't about evolution, don't know what the fuck they talking about. Get away from them in that conversation. The whole conversation is based off of race and how it's been discredited and evolution. We're talking about mutations. We're talking about phenotypes. We're talking about the whole 9 yards. We talk about people who can be jet black and have other affinities and other markers being absorbed into the population. We talking about the homegrown mix. The whole conversation is based off of understanding evolution. But you'll have people say that we're misinforming people. We're actually not. We're looking at time periods to say Homo sapiens ain't even left yet to go mix with nobody but within itself. And that's a solid point right there, Ngozi. I want to stay right there. Raw Born has you in an area where they ain't left yet. Are there mutations occurred? Absolutely. And because we just read it. That's why I read it. I read it. I said at that time period, you can still have the genes for light skin. We did all that. But yet we still got ignorance in the chat. Boy, I tell you, man, it never ends, bro. The ignorance never ends. I mean, it never ends. It's constant.
Evolution.
Let me just say this. If we present, if everybody, let me just say this, brother.
What you doing to go? I mean, Rob, go back to your spot. Then go ahead, Ngozi. You wanted to read something. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rob. You can read it.
All right. So I mean, we just did I feel like I'm doing the Aboriginal thing now because now I'm time jumping from a time where back migration didn't happen and all of that because we was in
back in the back.
And now I'm in the fourth. Right. Yeah, so now I'm doing the. I think we really do need to do this type of just build and come together. You know how we do with a back chat and we just be like, yo, let's look at this and let's go to this early date and just deal with the pre-dynastic part and stop it right at that point. You know what I mean? And then go down. I think because I don't think nobody did that yet. I don't think none of us I haven't seen it. I haven't seen everything.
That's why it's important. That's why it's important, Rob Bourne. We have to talk about all of the components, the elements that make up this region.
Brother, I'm cool with it. I knew from the jump that there were other people up in there. I just don't want to hear nobody try to tell me that people who are dark skinned, people who are what we say is black, are not in that area, and you want to attribute it to some other. And it's weird. It's just a weird thing. But anyway, this is what they say. This is what he says here. The second major phase of the pre-dynastic period, the Nakata culture, derives its name from a site of Nakata in Upper Egypt, where in 1892, finders Peachy uncovered the vast cemetery of more than 3,000 graves. Now, I got the book with this. I got to go back because I don't talk about this no more. I talk about black. You know what I mean? I don't remember, but those artifacts that are not really shown a lot, I'm gonna go find that shit. And when I find it, and you look at they like little miniature things, and they white. All of them, they like ivory or some shit, bro. That's why we saying we want everything. We want the material culture of what the people did themselves. But anyway, let's keep reading. It says Petrie struck at once by the unusual nature of these burials compared with those previously known in Egypt, mistakenly ascribed them to a group of foreign invaders.
Yeah.
This is very important. This is very key. This is very key. This group was supposed to have continued in existence until the end of the Old Kingdom, and it was suggested that they might have been responsible for its decline. So it goes on and on and on. I gotta go in my and look, because I got all this. You see, I didn't read all this shit. I got this shit. But go ahead.
Let me read the chat and comment.
Go ahead.
Oh, you should have hit that last part. Rob Bourne, that was important.
Wait, I gotta go back.
That last paragraph. Oh, very important.
Hold on. Go ahead, Unc. I'll try to find it again.
Let me read this from a pet. It says, sorry for my comment the other day. I was out of line. I'm manning up. I was wrong. See, I can always take that. I can always take another man manning the fuck up. Some people just can't do that. That's why I ain't fucking with them.
What, this paragraph?
Yeah, that
archaeologists in Egypt had grown used to monumental funerary architecture, but the humble Nakata burials consisted of little more than the body of the deceased in a fetal position, wrapped in an animal skin, sometimes covered by a mat, and most often deposited in a simple pit hollowed out of the sand. None of the openings. Why you want me to point that out? Man? See,
yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that.
You like that spooky shit, nigga.
No. Hey, Black Line, I don't necessarily agree with that.
No, it's not that so, if you agree, it's showing their technology. It's showing the things that they were doing. So it's showing that the blueprint.
I think that, as I said, man, I mean, just reading this, I mean, this really proves the point, though, that the modern Egyptians are those people, and they represent all layers of their history. All layers of their history.
Okay.
No, but it's just what it is. The techniques that's being used. It shows the blueprint of what we're talking about.
Yeah, but I just want y'all to know, like when you start talking about the complexion of the ancient Egyptians and all that, you can hear it out of Hawal's mouth his own self. He tell you what they is. Yeah. Don't make me play it. Do I gotta play that? I'm gonna play it tomorrow.
And I think you was talking about the tags that was found on the jars, Rob Bourne. I think that's what you're talking about.
Oh, that's an Abju. That's our name of company after that.
Engozi, what's the Neolithic Sudan?
That's Neolithic. That's 6,000 BCE.
Okay, so even when they talking about the Badarian culture here, right? It says the existence of a still earlier culture called the Tassian has been claimed. This culture would have been characterized by the presence of round-based calciform beakers with incised designs filled with white pigment, which are also known from the context of similar date in the Neolithic Sudan. However, the existence of the Tassian as a chronological or cultural separated unit has never been demonstrated beyond doubt. Yo, bro, I haven't read this shit in years, bro. All I know is that this shit is.
But here's the hey, I go ahead. I don't want to cut your wisdom, Rob.
Nah, go ahead. I'm finished.
No,
bro.
I'm at the clock, yo. It's 2:19. I'm out of here.
Cut
that off. done.
Before you cut it off, let me just say this. I'm gonna be 10 seconds.
2 seconds because we had the.
You got the Hafner culture, the civilian culture, the Quadan culture. Then you got the Harappian culture. Then the Neolithic. You have we have to talk about the Fayum A culture. When you start to see those Eastern Mediterranean populations come in and that Fayum area, then we have to talk. I mean, they've been there. We got to talk about that. We have to talk about that. So when you get into that.
Hey, I'm gonna make a statement. I'm gonna back it up next time I come on. The Fayum and all that, yo, you're gonna see a Nubian base to that. Now, I wanted to leave y'all with that.
No, Upper Egypt. Let me just say this, before y'all go in.
We out of here, man. It's late. You man, come on, yo. You gonna sleep all day? I ain't messing with you. I ain't doing it, yo. You gonna sleep all day long. Yo, I appreciate everybody that came through the building. We had fun. We teetered back and forth. We stayed with science, right? Then we had some fun. We threw in race, man. And then we showed how the old, we matched it up with the new, and how they was basically saying the same shit. That them damn Egyptians, yo, they ain't black or white, yo. They indigenous population, yo. So if you on one side or the other, and you try to take out all the variations from Egypt, you're wrong. Right? If you're on the other side, try to leave out a variation, you're wrong. You're just wrong. That's why I read what all the anthropologists read, clear up to the day. So it's clear, man. I appreciate the people coming through.
Yeah,
man.
peace, man. I just happened to look in that chat. Yo, that's crazy. Listen, man, I'm off of this.
Yeah.
I'm really off of this subject. I'm down to have I'm down to have that conversation where we get to build about. I mean, the ancient. I like that. That's cool for me because I don't. You know, it's a good refresher. Corey the atheist, bro.
Yeah.
I know you don't.
Yeah, we don't listen to Whoa.
I know you don't own these books, Corey. I know you don't own this shit.
Hey,
and I know you ain't never read this. You a link guy.
Yeah. We don't listen to Corey. No. Hey, Rob Bourne. No.
Like
we don't
fucking with Corey. Corey cool, man.
Yeah, no. Not in this conversation, yo. He don't get nothing from me on this. He done. He got 2 years, yo, and he spit at my face. In the moving car, he spit out, he spit. No.
He said in the moving car.
Yeah, he in the moving car, he spit. He said, I spit on, nigga, that's your own spit. Yeah, you never give pearls to swine, Rob Bourne. We're not doing that. No.
Nah, I ain't calling nobody no swine, but I think I think
in this conversation, hey, bro, in this conversation, yo, he's out of his mind. Gone.
But yo, I think we cleared up. We kind of cleared a lot. This was a lot of ground here.
Good job, bro.
Because we talking about all of these different cultures that is in there. We got the Levant, we got Mediterranean niggas there, we got the Nubian niggas there. Like, if you go, if you go either or, you're gonna probably. It's a time frame.
Guess what, Rob Bourne? Yo. This is what no anthropologists and no geneticists say. Although you got these different, what you want to consider mutations there, yo, they all mix in Africa and been there for a long time, which makes them indigenous Africans, because Africans are mixed from day one. The mutants, Homo sapiens is a mutant, a combination of other mutants. How do we know this? Because there's no way to survive the bacteria and disease if you're not diversified in variation. And with that statement, right, based off the degree to which you understand what I just said, you either saying Ankh out his motherfucking mind or that nigga rocking. Hey, with that, man, we appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody that came through. It was a powerful show, man. Real Black Atheist.